Melbourne versus Hawthorn. Is this a dress rehearsal for next Saturday's elimination final, or a battle for the all-important double chance? The Demons are back to their best, in top form, in time for the finals, following 6 consecutive victories. But so are the Hawks. The defending champions are on a major roll, taking Collingwood and Carlton with them in the past fortnight, as they charge towards yet another finals campaign. It's September, and big-time football is back at the MCG. And welcome to the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Yes, it is September, it's spring. It's been a wonderful morning in Melbourne. Just perfect for a very big day of football between the Demons and the Hawks. And what an important match this is. They've both won 6 straight, but there are 2 other games in Melbourne today that could decide just who will get the double chance. It's North Melbourne against Collingwood at Waverley and West Coast against Geelong at Kardinia Park. We'll keep you right up to date with just how those matches are going throughout the afternoon. They are very, very important as we take a look at the AFL ladder. We see that Essendon is top. That won't change. But will it be Collingwood, West Coast, Melbourne or Hawthorn in that qualifying final next week? And which of the 2 teams will be playing in the elimination final? Well, it's also a very, very special day because Michael Tuck, just a few moments ago, ran through a banner that said Michael Tuck 404 games running into history. The Melbourne players and the Hawthorn players had a guard of honour for Tucky. It's one of the great performances in football. It was pretty tough to get through, as you can see. It really was a wonderful banner, and Tuck has broken the record that Kevin Bartlett set a decade ago. A big crowd in attendance. It looks like it's over 50,000. It's been building all the time. It really is going to be one of the great days of football. Well, 2 men who remember Michael Tuck very well are Peter McKenna and Don Scott. In fact, Don, you were the captain of 1976 and 78 when Hawthorn won those premierships with Tucky playing.
Yes, and I'm just getting the tingles down the back of the spine, Peter. It's a terrific effort, and listen, he is the epitome of what we think that AFL club football is all about, Tucky.
Absolute ornament of the game, and well, an exciting moment in football today, and I'm very proud to be part of it, Bruce, and I'm sure you would, Scotty, being a former Hawthorn captain. As we have a look at the team lineups, it'll be interesting to see if Earl Spalding lines up on Dunstall. Paul Deer's been a great player this year, and young Allen from Western Australia. Yates had a top year also for Melbourne.
And the half-back line, well, Brett Lovett taken off the ground last week. Lyon played at full forward, kicked a few goals. Stephen Phoebe coming back into form. Brereton in and out, but when he's in, he is certainly hot, and he'll be there when the going's tough.
Now, the centre lines are going to be very interesting. Andrew Obston, much improved player against Chris Whitman, also in good form. Look at that, the wingers. Pritchard and Tony Hall against Grinter and Newport. I wonder if Newport will play a stopping role today. I'm sure he will.
Well, there'll be a number of positional changes, and Mew will line up there. Howard, I don't think, will be there at centre-half forward. Jay Vine will probably be in the back line, and Eishold in the centre line. Tuck, yes, he played there last week as well as pick up the Rovers for Hawthorn.
Well, for Melbourne to have any chance, in my opinion, Bennett would have to kick a lot of goals, and that'll be pretty difficult. Look at that. That is the Victorian full-back line. Collins, Langford and Ayres, a great line. I don't think Campbell will line up at the forward pocket. He may even line up at full-back.
And the followers, Steins and Lawrence. Similar players. Lawrence doesn't get too many hit-outs in the centre, but very mobile, as is Steins. Tingay, a real improver since the West Coast game. Healy could be injured. Platten, doubt about him. Also, Anderson had a quiet one last week. A few players there got something to prove.
And the interchange players, young Heaver, who kicked 5 goals in his first game, and Marnie, and of course Paul Hudson and Scotty McGuinness back in that Hawthorn side.
Thanks, Don, and thanks, Peter. Remember, in the corresponding game earlier this year at Waverley, Jason Dunstall fractured his skull. He's made a superb comeback in top form, and so are the Hawks. We're in for a most exciting afternoon on AFL Live. Back with more after this break. Welcome back to AFL Live. The last time these 2 teams met in May, round 9, Hawthorn upset Melbourne, who are top of the ladder, 92-48. Well, it seems a perfect day up here for football, a big crowd in attendance. Michael Roberts will be keeping us right up to date with all the on-ground activity. Michael, a very good afternoon to you.
Well, thank you, Bruce. And Michael Tuck couldn't have picked a better day to break the record. Simply tremendous down here at ground level. The current temperature at the moment is 16 degrees. The expected top 15, so we've passed that. The relative humidity 39%. The wind heading towards the punt road end, which is left of screen, at around 5 kilometres an hour into the far forward pocket, but it will have no real significance on the game. The ground is firm and the forecast fine, mostly sunny.
Thanks for that, Michael, as well as North Melbourne, Collingwood and Geelong West Coast. We'll be keeping you up to date with the other AFL matches being played today. It's Footscray and Brisbane, St Kilda and Essendon, and Fitzroy and Carlton. A surprise here with Campbell on Dunstall.
Well, he was best on the ground last week with one of the better players for Melbourne, Bruce, and on the bench for Melbourne, McAvaney, McGuinness and Hudson for Hawthorn.
Mike Ball, Dennis Rich, the umpires. Very briefly, Peter, your selection?
I think Hawthorn will win pretty well.
And Road is picking up Bennett at centre-half back. Spalding at centre-half forward. Chris Mew's got the job there. Garry Lyon looks like he's playing on the half-forward flank, named at centre-half back for Melbourne. Yates on a wing. And Healy's starting out on the half-forward flank.
Melbourne kicking to the left and Hawthorn to the right on the day that Michael Tuck sets the all-time record for number of games. Whitman just gives it across to Pritchard. A quick kick to Brereton. And the Hawks steam forward. Kennedy. Hall goes backwards. Anderson can attack from there, and he does, and he kicks it very well and just to the side for behind. So Hawthorn register the first the point through Dean Anderson.
Typical Hawthorn start, barnstorming start from the centre as players charged at the ball. Big job for Tony Campbell on Dunstall. Here's Steins. Oh, good play by Steins to tap it over the back to Yates. He can't pick it up. Hotly pressing him was Paul Deere. Grinder took his eyes off it at the split second. Allow Morrissey in. Morrissey with a quick hand pass. Back to Jinky, who's playing on Lyon. Oh, great effort by Jinky. Swings onto the right foot. A wobbly kick to the centre of the ground. Grabbed by Stephen Phoebe on the left foot towards half forward. Underneath it is Mew. Oh, beautifully smothered at half forward. This is Tingay. Tingay onto the left foot, hooks it up in front of goal. A chance here for Lyon from 20 metres, hooks it round the corner and has only succeeded in putting it through for one behind. And look at that right shoulder of Garry Lyons, heavily strapped.
Well, he's done that. He's had that for a couple of weeks now, Peter.
Langford, one of the great stars at Hawthorn over a long period. Played as a key defender in many of their premierships through the 80s. Goes to half-back. Phoebe at the back. Whitman gives it away in a hurry. Tuck's first touch. He was claimed. Ayres went to ground. And Obbs from 30 metres out is going to miss. And miss very badly.
See, that wasn't a good kick by Obbs on that occasion. Maybe a little fortunate the ball came his way. Realised he was in space and it just couldn't settle.
Andrew Obbs, of course, formerly of Port Adelaide, has been a good recruit this year for the Demons. Here's Bennett doing the ruck work. It's down the ground. Good play by Andrew Collins. A quick kick to half-back and Platten. Platten goes and gets it again. Was that a free kick to Platten? No. Umpire calls play on. And probably good umpiring. They've been in good form this year, Mike Ball and Dennis Rich. As the ball is forced over the line. Half forward at the 50-metre mark for the Demons. Spalding taps out. So Eishold was a quick hand pass, grabbed by Andrew Collins. Good football as he presses his way through half-back. A wobbly kick to centre wing, smothered by Paul Deere. Morrissey, a loose hand pass. Graham Yates swoops on it, the long kick. Langford pumps it away, but it lands with Bennett on the left foot and kicks it goal across the face. Hurried the kick a little bit too much and puts it out of bounds.
Well, again, being the value of a two-sided play, he wasn't two-sided on that occasion. He went onto his left foot and doesn't normally kick with that foot, and we could see on that occasion the ball went right across the face of goal.
Bennett and Langford do the ruck work. Langford, a quick kick to the boundary, and he finds it safely. Greg Healy with the helmet on, Dunstall at the other end with his version. Healy not playing last week because of the headaches, but the captain's there today. Spalding at the back. In front, Mew. Healy's handball, just hoping for Newport. Oh, good tackle on Ayres. Tingay caught high, gets a free kick. It'll come back. Well, Don, Melbourne started pretty well. They haven't been shell-shocked at all.
No, it's a good start by both teams, the way that Hawthorn got it out of the centre initially, and Anderson kicking that goal, and there's the free kick to Tingay. Now, he is a much improved player. He had to really lift his game against the West Coast. He went on and rode and did exceptionally well as continued on from that day.
45 metres out, a high one. Bennett, Jackson off the ground, and it's a behind. So the Demons have had their chances. Obbs missed one, Bennett missed one. Almost taking the mark. Langford goes short to Ayres and he finds him.
Typical Hawthorn, taking chances on the back line. Jenke finds his teammate in Stephen Lawrence, who's keeping Greg Deere out of that side. That's how well he's been playing. To half forward, punched on by Tony Hall. No one there for Hawthorn. Off the ground is by Dermot Brereton. Players swooping in after it at half forward for Hawthorn. The loose ball, who'll get it? It was Allen. Brereton on road, the tackler. Grabbed by Stephen Newport onto the left foot. Kicks it wide. Lyon against Whitman. Who'll win out here? Umpire calls play on, and rightly so. Good play by Garry Lyon, and the umpire said he was grabbed. Round the legged, in fact. Howard is the receiver. Good pass. And finds Greg Healy at half forward.
Well, that one will shake his brains up. He copped one heavy around the head again.
The short one is on. Oh, a bad pass. The hand pass is collected by Tuck from Chris New. The centre wing and Paul Deere. Is that a mark? Umpire said no. John Kennedy, the game at a furious pace at the moment as John Kennedy takes it over the line on centre wing.
Well, a dreadful mistake by Healy. He had Howard there for half an hour and couldn't find the body. Missed him completely. Steins and Lawrence. Steins from the front court. Obst, run down by Platten. Gee, fine, he took his eye off it. Whitman, it's a hard footy to get. Platten's besieged and no free kick. It's good umpiring, they're going to let it go. Viney squeezes it out to Phoebe, who squeezes it again, and Viney gets it back. Collins.
Oh, good mark.
Well, he couldn't see Tingay, but you could feel that there might have been a body coming. Langford to Hall, and Morrissey's on here if Hall can move it quickly. Took a while, but he'll go to him. He's got Pritchard short, but he's going to go to Dunstall, and he misses it. It was a hard one. Kennedy from the pocket, and he misses too. So scores are level.
And the tackling ferocious at this stage. The mistakes that are happening on both sides. That was a mistake by Ops, but then again, you've got to credit the tackle. It's good forward play when forwards start tackling.
I agree with you, Don. The game opening at a furious pace. Campbell going short. Has found Grinter. Grinter at half-back, getting the hoots of the Hawthorn supporters. The short one. Oh, the mark is dropped, but Phoebe receives onto Obst. Melbourne player Jay Viney had it taken away. Cozen gets it again, though. Viney, the centre wing. This is Spalding in after it. Can't control it, and it beats him over the line. But somebody's got to give. Oh, is it ever? It's a hot ball, all right. As players are going in ferociously for it. Lawrence against Steins, a pretty good match-up that too, and Steins won that one to Spalding. Another loose ball comes to Grinter, taken by Platten. This is where Hawthorn are dangerous. The short one is on the Deere, he's dropped it. Taken away by his opponent, John Howard. So a few mistakes being made, but as Don Scott said, it's a hot ball. Grabbed by Steins, and his opponent, and Stephen Lawrence, is marked at centre wing.
21-year-old. Goes short. Good kick. Allen. Brereton the target. Used his body well. Quick kick by Rode. Eishold with a bit of strength. Whitman runs him down. Anderson. Missed again Anderson. Grinter. It sits. He should kick it to Phoebe. And he does. At half-back. Healy short. Phoebe goes long. Wanting Spalding. New goes with him. Tingay on the up to Newport. Takes his time, but kicks to Lyon in the pocket. Now out of bounds, and Melbourne get it within 40 metres.
Melbourne make a lot of skill errors, Don.
Yes, but also, I talk about the pressure, Peter. These players, we all realise, are programmed to handball first. It would be better in situations such as this when the ball's hot to kick it long and get it down the ground as far as you can.
A big roar for Tuck. Kennedy in the front. Grinter at the back. Pritchard, Kennedy, Platten, who has started very well, kicks it sideways, wants Dunstall. Yates, Dunstall with him. Oh, played Dunstall, magnificent. Hall from 50 metres with a wobbly one. That is going to wobble through for a goal. The Hawks lead. Hall got the goal, but Dunstall set it up.
Well, you called it right, Chris. It was great play there on Dunstall. It was Yates out in front. Here we see Yates over the ball. Now Dunstall putting pressure on, and just as Campbell came on the scene, it was Dunstall who got it quickly over to Hall. And this just happened to float through, or bounce through, should I say.
Magnificent play by the Hawthorn full forward. We come to expect that of him. Here's Simon Eishold, centre of the ground on the left foot. To half forward. Takes front position. Punched down by Tingay was good football. Chris Mew dives on top of it, then taps it out. A quick hand pass comes out the line. That was from Obbs. Lyon straightens up, and another bad miss by the Demons. They've had plenty of chances up forward.
That's his second point, Garry, Lyon. But usually a very good kick on the left foot. We saw Bennett do it earlier, and his kick went right across the face of goal.
Chris Langford, the big job on Darren Bennett. Could very well decide this match, the winner of that contest. Here's Chris Mew, very reliable Mew. That half back. Now he'll go wide to Hall, who's also very good overhead. Now he's getting away, Tony Hall. Well done. And well, he's had that serious knee injury. What a great player he is. Kennedy's in everything at the moment. Will he look for Dunstall? He's got Paul Deere there also as backup support. Paul Deere hooks it back to Whitman. Whitman falls over. Now the umpire's paid in fact, he's paid the mark. Whitman to the pocket. Oh, they've got Kennedy there. Can he mark it? No, he can't. Taken by Yates. Good play by Howard. That was before that to make the spoil. Lyon, left foot. Finds Steins on centre wing. He gives it off to Brett Lovett. Lovett round the corner on the left foot. Mew against Spalding. Punched down by Mew. Grabbed by Dean Anderson. A wobbly kick to half forward. Courage. Oh, look at that for Courage by Tony Hall. It's a free
kick to Morrissey.
Well, what about the courage of Hall, Don?
He kept his eye on the ball then, Tony Hall.
Oh, did he ever? Here's Morrissey looking for Dunstall in the pocket. He's made the lead. He's away and running. Can Campbell get to him? Dunstall tries to tap it back, but it beats him over the line.
8-3, Hawthorn 1-2. Dunstall setting up the first goal for Hall. The Demons have had some chances on a brilliant day in Melbourne. Absolutely perfect conditions. Morrissey, the little give. Kennedy, he'll kick this. Doesn't miss there. It's 2-2 to 3 points.
Well, John Kennedy, that half-forward flank, a very hard player to counter. As you can see there on screen, he's got size. He's also got that mobility as he showed here, and also the skill. What type of player did he put on Kennedy? A very hard man to match up as he goes in. His first goal, he kicked 2 last week.
(14 plays 3, and Grinter will have to play a lot closer. There's Healy going to half forward. Jeeky. Oh, he didn't take the mark. In fact, it was a push-out. Free kick to Ray Jeeky. Now, he's got loose men everywhere. Platten and John Kennedy are in everything at the moment, and Melbourne will have to man up a little bit better than what they're doing at the moment. This is Platten to the half-forward line. They've got players here. Kennedy. Ben Allen's there. Also, Pritchard. Quick hand pass is smothered. Knocked on by Grinter. Platten in after it again. Grabbed by Brett Lovett. Oh, Phoebe, though, the pressure's on as Allen put on the tackle. Simon Eishold, a sweeping hand pass, and Obbs couldn't get there before it beat him over the line. But now Hawthorn laying some pretty strong tackles, Don.
Well, it's going to be a matter of who cracks first, Peter. The pressure that both sides are putting on one another is quite incredible, and you've just got to withstand this pressure if you're going to be a finalist.
Newport smothered by Whitman. Off the ground by Viney. Missed by Mew. Hip and shoulder by Lyon on tuck. Phoebe, left foot, Bennett the target. Oh, well played, Collins. Brilliantly played, and Langford's skill level is high, and then he hits Hall on the chest. That was superb. Hall with some time to set it up. Poor kick. Road, it sits. Not a good kick. Very poor footy by Road. He had Newport short and Tingay long, and he kicked it in between them to Langford. Pritchard with some power now. He'll go to the goal. Dunstall. No mark. Kennedy, Campbell, hoping it'll go out. Kept in play by the Demons, and they did it pretty well in the end as Steins gets it away. Platten. And do you think Platten's playing a game today?
Or is he ever? He's on his game, Johnny Platten. And I thought a moment ago Pritchard went the wrong options when he went into goal. He had two players short on the other side of the ground. He went for Dunstall. Here's Brereton, centre of the pack. It goes to ground. Morrissey, a danger player. Great hand pass. Pritchard's loose. Gives it on the Hall. An open goal. Tony Hall, he's hooked it. He's missed. So players missing some easy shots. Actually, as it turned out, Pritchard could easily have just turned around and popped it through himself, but Hawthorn looking particularly dangerous. 2-3 plays 3 points.
Well, that was well done by Morrissey also to get underneath that pack and feed the ball out. He got it across to Pritchard, who in turn to Hall.
Love it. Straight down the ground with a drop punt. Spalding and Steins. Brereton. Lawrence with a little one. Anderson. Play on call. Viney. High tackle on him, not paid. Steins off the ground. Eishold misses it. Now Eishold again. Sweeping handball. Lyon and Jenke. Morrissey. Jenke. Left foot to Brereton. Gee, that's good vision. Dunstall in the pocket. Anderson short. Kennedy at centre half forward. They're the options. Dunstall the target. 2 against him. Eishold. Yates. He'll kick it to Lyon. It's a good kick. Jenke brings him down. Stops the flow. The Demons want 50, they won't get it. Lyon from centre wing. Bennett gives him a long lead. He kicks it to the space, and he's got it.
That was a good lead. He's got real strength, a real quickness over the first couple of yards. Strength comes into it when you want power initially, and Bennett certainly got that in the upper body, and he got away from Langford, and that's no mean feat.
Well, this is an important kick. He's a long way out, but if anyone in the competition can kick it, Bennett can. And the Demons want this one. This will give them some inspiration. 55 metres out. Long, towering drop punt, and it's through. What a goal. 1-3 to 2-3, and Bennett gets his first.
Well, I'm just shaking my head in admiration. That was a fantastic kick from 60-odd metres out. Watch this. He's kicked that from the edge of the square. Oh, a magnificent kick.
Hawthorn by one solitary goal after a magnificent kick, a 60-metre drop punt by Bennett. The value of a long kicking full forward as we see Jenke to half forward Kennedy, hotly pressing him. It's Grinter. Eventually the ball's taken wide by Obbs. A chance now for Phoebe to half forward. Collins in front. Oh, showed courage, Andrew Collins. Garry Ayres swoops on it. Chance for Lyon over the top. Grabbed by Jenke, playing a great game. Jenke round the corner, but the mark has been taken by Stephen Phoebe at half forward. Phoebe will look for Bennett again. Out he comes, but Whitman comes across the front. Free kick to Whitman on the head. Hawthorn players showing enormous amount of courage. They're putting their bodies in. Oh, he nearly ran into the man then. Muse should mark at half-back. Plays on. Danger for Melbourne here. Pritchard looking for Hall. Will it sit for him? Oh, top one round the neck. Goes in and gets it again. The ball is smothered off the boot. It's grabbed by Yates to Jackson. Jackson on centre wing. Road was the original smotherer. The short one that comes into Healy. Healy centre of the ground. Where's Bennett? There he is in front. Langford at the back. Oh, Mew with beautiful judgment. Just waited at the back and took a good safe mark. He's got a loose man out there in Lawrence,
who takes an easy one at half back. One bounce. He can go again. He's got a paddock. High one. Just hoping there. Steins in the front. Brereton gives him a clip across the side. No free kick. Unbelievable.
Well, I thought the umpire may have paid that on that occasion. You can see there Jim Steins going over and speaking to Dennis Rich. Watch this on replay. Steins controls it and just copped one on the right ear.
Steins and Lawrence. Steins is rucking superbly. Quick kick by Newport. Spalding, no free kick. Obst.
Oh.
Good kick, Bennett. Ayres and Jackson. Quick kick by Ayres. Tuck. Good take.
Oh, look at the tackle.
It was by Obst. It was very good, and he does it again to Hall, who's got the power to give it to Ayres, who gives it to Platten. Some familiar names in Hawthorn that have been starring for a lot of years. Lawrence the target. Couldn't take it. Spalding did wonderfully well. Superbly, in fact. The handball wasn't all that good, and Viney made a mess of it in the end. But the pressure's on. Newport's free kick in the centre.
Newport's got a loose man in Healy. No, he was covered. Stephen Newport will have to go straight down the centre. Bennett versus Langford. Langford at the back. Thump down to Tingay. Tingay on the left foot. Hooks at goal, and bad luck to the youngster as he's hooked it across the face and through for a behind. Stephen Tingay looking a very dangerous player, Don.
That tackle by Obst on Tuck earlier. Now, Obst is like Tuck. They are very deceptive the way they run for the ball, and that was just magnificent play by those two players.
5 points the margin. Hawthorn in front. Ayres goes across the face. Oh, they wouldn't want to mess this up. Mew. Oh, Jenky waited for it, but he ended up getting the ball. Playing well, Ray Jenky. Hooks it back to Pritchard. He's got backup support from Chris Mew. The short one is on to Platten, who's having a great game. Johnny Platten. He's got loose men everywhere. There's Lawrence. He'll go inside. Oh, ordinary hand pass comes to Whitman. Whitman back towards the forward pocket area. Here's Tony Hall from 35 metres. Hooks it back. Dunstall and Campbell. Campbell takes a good mark.
The interesting battle between these two.
Oh!
Kicked it out on the full. He wanted Phoebe. Didn't balance up.
He's got the worst man to possibly take this kick in Morrissey. He's on the boundary line, Bruce.
Well, he loves them from there. Watch this. No, he's going to have to go back and go around. But as Peter McKenna indicated, this man can do anything. Improves the angle, snapshot for goal, and for once he misses.
Well, actually, that was bad marking by Melbourne, because Morrissey there on screen indicated that he was going to run around the man on the mark. He was back far enough. He did it on the second occasion. A Melbourne fellow should have gone over, not allowed him to do that.
Oh, wobbly kick. That punched on by Paul Deere. It was a bad kick off by Tony Campbell. Oh, that was nearly holding it. Platten in everything. Look at that play. Tony Hall taps it on. Here's the dangerous John Kennedy getting around on the right foot. A short chip pass is not a good one. Ricky Jackson. Oh, there's a lot of skill errors by Melbourne. Kennedy again. Morrissey. Platten. Platten from 50 metres. A torpedo punt kick up in the square. Dunstall in front. Oh, put his body there. Well done, Tony Campbell, to spoil and punch it through for a behind. Good game this, Don.
My word, there's a couple of Hawthorn blokes out there that Melbourne have got to tighten up on. One is Hall, the other is Platten, and also John Kennedy. Jenky also doing well at centre-half back.
Phoebe the target. Eishold caught. Well, he didn't have much chance. Lawrence rode him into the ground. Did he take control of the footy or not? The umpire says yes.
Very tough.
Well, he tucked it under, and
He really didn't make an attempt. The umpire doomed. He did not make an attempt.
Lawrence tries to centre it. His skill level's down today. Dunstall. Grinter. Newport. Phoebe. Just the one hand. Kennedy. Whitman attacks. Dunstall the target again. Love it. Should kick it to Yates or handball it to him. He does. Now Eishold's got to run for him here. He's got to give him something to kick to. And it's a good kick. Well played, Eishold. But not a good kick under pressure. Lawrence put the pressure on.
Geez, that's not bad for a big fella, Don.
It's great, Peter. He's really great.
Jenky. Hawthorn's use of the ball is a little bit better. There's Stein slipping over on the left foot now. Hooks it back. It should be a mark to Mew. He's very, very safe. Oh, he went to play on. It could have been holding the ball. He's lost it, but his teammates here to back up in Jenky. Oh, good play, Ray Jenky. Is he is playing well at half back. He's a new player, Jenky. Look at that kick. Brereton up in front. Is that a mark? No. Road doing well. Eishold. Inside to Steins. Great game of football. Steins to Lyon. He found him. 45 metres out from goal. Very slight angle. But Jenky's had the better of that, Jules.
And you can see the crowd really getting involved and appreciating the football that's being displayed by these two teams. It's the best game I've seen this year, and it's only the first quarter. Let's hope they can keep it up for the remainder of the game.
The Melbourne champ, Garry Lyon, a chance to make the deficit only one behind. He is almost directly in front, will kick from about 48 metres. There's the drop punt. It's a good-looking kick. It's a goal. 1 point the margin in favour of Hawthorn.
Well, I suppose you could say there with only a point the difference, Hawthorn 17, Melbourne 16. There's no justice in football, is there? Because Jenky has been doing exceptionally well. I said earlier at centre-half back, he's actually on the half-back flank on Garry Lyon. Garry Lyon had that kick for goal and he's registered one. That's a blot against Jenky, but that's football.
(17-16), just a point the difference. McAvaney with a long one. Jenky and Lyon. Ayres. Jackson. Spalding. Caught. Mew. It doesn't sit. Brereton. Kennedy. Still Kennedy. Anderson waits. Free kick to Hawthorn.
I thought the umpire could just let it go there. All players intent on playing the ball.
Anderson from the centre square. Dunstall leads. Pulled near the target. Love it at the back. Was that deliberate by Campbell? ...50 metres away from Hawthorn's goal. 2 3/4 minutes remaining in what's been a spectacular first quarter. Kennedy. Quick kick by Allen. Campbell and Dunstall. Excellent duel. Yates playing well. Still Yates. Phoebe with a paddock. Will he take Pritchard on? Decides not to. He kicks to the line and he hits him on the chest. Lyon's had 6 kicks and Jenky's had 9. Lyon to centre half forward. Bennett. Obst. Spalding. There's a chance here. Eishold. A controlled kick to Jackson and that was wonderful. Magnificent. Well, it's on behind with Viney and also Collins. But the kick from Eishold to Jackson was a beauty. Absolutely outstanding. And Melbourne are 5 points in front.
What a passage of football. What a passage of play we've seen in this first quarter. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. Bennett up. It's Tingay, Obst underneath initially. Quick by Spalding across to Eishold. And there he makes it sit for Jackson and goes in. And Jackson slung to ground by Collins.
Melbourne by 5 points. Lawrence and Stein. Stein's getting most of the hit-outs. Here's Andrew Obst. A quick kick to the half-forward line. Collins. Oh, Langford's ran straight past the ball. Bennett to Jackson. An open goal. It's an easy goal at the Melbourne. Well, Melbourne 4-4. Hawthorn 2-5.
Well, doesn't the game change nowadays? The complexion of the game can change in a couple of minutes, and it's done this here at the MCG because Hawthorn looked as if they were starting to take a little bit of control, and then all of a sudden 2 goals to Jackson and the game's changed. Melbourne are now in front.
So Jackson with 2. He was the leading goal kicker in 88. But Andrew Obst has been very important in the centre. He's won some hard balls out in this term. He goes against Lawrence. Phoebe wants a free kick. It's not coming. Lyon cleverly. Spalding. Stein's caught. Tuck on the up to Platten. A poor kick. Lovett versus Allen. Free kick to Lovett.
There's the umpire right in the right position on that occasion. He was behind both those players as they run in, had a clear view of Allen holding on to Lovett.
Good kick. Yates has played very well. He's had 7 kicks. Sweeps one to Road. The Demons are on fire. Drop punt. Bennett. Langford with him. Oh, what a mark!
Watch this. picture tells a story. One hand and right to left, easy as you like, but that's a fine effort.
He's a dangerous player, Bennett.
Well, he's kicked 77 this season, and he really should drill this one home. 40 metres out, drop punt, and he's missed it, and really should have made the most of that.
That's a let-off for Hawthorn, that is, Bruce. A real let-off. It would have been a handy little buffer, that. They lead by 2 goals, but gee, that would have been a handy one. But
you can't afford to miss those, can you, Peter, in pressure games?
Not particularly when you're a great kick like he is.
No, I mean, all these little mistakes are costly in big games.
He is to the half-back line, getting very close to quarter time, tapped on by Lawrence, still trying to tap it on. Time clock ticking down. Grabbed by Langford. Langford a wobbly kick to centre wing. Graham Yates sets himself. There's the siren. A great first quarter of football at the MCG. Melbourne lead by 2 goals. 4-5-29 to the Hawks, 2-5-17.
To AFL Live at quarter time, the Demons by 2 goals, 4-5 to Hawthorn 2-5. John Northey talking to his Melbourne players at quarter time as Alan Jeans and the Hawks disperse. Quarter time scores in the AFL. John Longmire's got 1 goal, he got 97, but Collingwood leads 6-4 to 4-3. Geelong and West Coast, Geelong by 4 points, both very important games from the qualifying and elimination final point of view. Footscray 5-6 thrashing Brisbane a goal. St Kilda and Essendon 25-24, the Saints by a point, and Fitzroy and Carlton. Fitzroy 7-6. Pert carried off the ground on a stretcher in the first quarter, lead Carlton 2-3. Now in Adelaide, a half-time score, a double-header at Football Park. West trying to get into the 5, lead Sturt 8-7 to 4-8. As we check with Michael Roberts on what happened at quarter time. Michael.
Well, thanks, Bruce. And last week they got murdered out of the centre, and today they have a problem as well, and Alan Jeans told them so. Melbourne love to run. He wants a blanket thrown right over the top of them, and also Melbourne are bottling up their forward line. He wants them to really open up there. John Northey praised Campbell and Rhodes for their effort in the back line. He also said that they wasted opportunity with Obst and Bennett twice. They've got to nail those goals early, and it's all very well to attack, but they must man up when they haven't got the ball.
Thanks for that, Michael. It's John Northey goes up to the coach's box, and we see the evenness of the first quarter.
Yes, there's really not much in those stats whatsoever, I suppose. Hit-outs going Melbourne's way, but clearances out of the centre, very important, and Melbourne going that way. One interesting player, Yates, went off the ground up into the race at quarter time, consulted the doctors when he came back out, and he's still on the ground. So it might be a cloud over Yates.
Start of the second term, Melbourne by 2 goals. Steins against Lawrence. Lawrence just wins it, but Steins gets it to Spalding. Healy's quick kick. Jenke had an excellent duel in the first quarter with Lyon. Lawrence round his body, not a good kick. Grinter.
Yates on the half, on the back line, picking up Morrissey, and Viney on Tony Hall.
Healy tuck. Morrissey. Lawrence getting a lot of touches. Kennedy at the back. Yates with him. And Grinter. Grinter looks for a free kick. Eishold. Smothered by Morrissey. Road. And I think he'd be pretty happy to see it go out of bounds. Brereton very quiet in the first turn.
He's doing a good job, Road, isn't he, on Brereton? Brereton just not on the job today at all.
Well, Road is a very competent player, of course. There's a free kick to Hawthorn, I would think. Or on the shoulder against Steins. It'll go to Lawrence, and he impresses me. Lawrence, he is a greatly improved player, but terrific mobility. Dunstall's gone back. Now he's at the back, Dunstall. Let's see if he can fly from behind. He's off the ground by Paul Deere, and just a little bit wide. And through for a behind. 4-5 plays 2-6. So the margin is 11 points. Grinter is going to bring it back into play. Rodney Grinter. Long time out, suspended this year. There's a wobbly kick, a dangerous kick, and Lawrence.
That's not a good kick, is it? That's a torpedo punt, and it really didn't come off at that time. It just dropped short.
Well, there's no need to kick a torpedo from there. A drop punt, you can direct it to your teammates. Now, the short one is on. Oh, the mark has been taken by Whitman. I thought that was over his head for sure, Don.
It's a good effort by Whitman.
Similar
he
to
made
the
something
mark
out of nothing on that occasion because it was a nothing kick. He really had to stretch.
Very similar to the mark that Bennett took in the first quarter, the one-hander. Except Bennett was under far more pressure. Now, Whitman will kick from about 48 metres directly in front. There's the kick, will lob right up in the goal square. Brereton flies off the hands and through for another behind to the Hawks. And Chris Whitman's not happy with himself. There's a former Hawthorn and Carlton coach, David Parkin, and Graham Arthur, former great half forward for the Hawks many, many years ago.
Campbell, Stein's the target. Tony Hall, quick kick by Lawrence. Geez, getting some touches for a big man. Road, Kennedy misses. Anderson good. Ayres with a left foot. Dunstall.
Well done by Dunstall. But the problem came at half back there. Road overrunning the ball. And Hawthorn swooped on that. And just the left hand into the chest of Campbell as he's running Dunstall. He does that very, very well.
It's where he's at his best, isn't it? Tucked away in the pocket. Drop punt, good kick, straight through. Dunstall's first, and it's 3-7 to 4-5.
Well, I suppose there could be some debate whether that's a shepherd or whether the ball is in the vicinity. A lot of forwards do that nowadays. There he is just shepherding off. And that's a great kick from the boundary. Dunstall on fire the last couple of weeks. 11 goals and 6 last week. 11 against Collingwood, 6 against Carlton.
Melbourne by 4 points. Lawrence got the tap out that time. Here's Tarko. He's got backup support from Hall. On to Jenke. Hawthorn starting to get that running game going. Paul Deere in front. Tapped the ground. All the Melbourne players got in each other's way. Here's Brett Lovett with a quick hand pass. Oh, that was good play, but as Jackson went backwards, that allows Dean Anderson in. Backup support from Paul Deere. Grabbed by Tony Hall, who's been most impressive. On to Tuck. 404th league game. What an effort. Dunstall and Campbell. Campbell won that well. What a great contest that is. Campbell and Dunstall, two similarly matched players in size. Here's Steins at half back. He's calling for players to move. He's gone for the little chip pass and he finds Garry Lyon. Jenke has run 40 metres back to cover the kick. And Garry Lyon with the drop punt, the half forward. Chris Mew sets himself in front, shoved out of it, and the mark at the back is taken by Simon Eishold.
Jackson running for him, and so's Bennett. Jackson will take it. Eishold's been very good today. Set Jackson up in the first quarter for a spectacular goal. So Jackson tucked away in the pocket. He's kicked 2 already. He's a goal-kicking rover. Drop punt. Nice kick to the front of the square. Spalding. Healy misses. Allen with him. Or concedes, and goal to Bennett. What a mistake. 5-5 to 3-7. And Bennett can't believe his luck. He's got 2. And watch Allen give it away here.
Well, we all are capable of making mistakes. There's a high ball from Jackson, comes to ground, nearly well done by Healy. There's Allen underneath. I suppose he's got no alternative in that situation but to go for the boundary line. Didn't realise exactly where he was, and he hit it towards the boundary line, but the boundary line was the goals.
He actually might have been
was there.
He might have been trying to put it through for a point, in fact, Don, but it didn't come off. 35 to 25. He'll get the next goal. Oh, cleverly done, Kennedy to Whitman. That was brilliant play, and Whitman's still going on with it. Winter, though, chips in. A long hand pass finds Brett Lovett. He's caught. Hand pass comes to Michael Tuck. Some good pressure by Melbourne. As Steins to the half-forward line. Chris Mew at the back. The loose ball is with Eishold. On to Newport. On to Jackson. Jackson a quick kick to full forward. Oh, it bounces the wrong way. Langford will head for the line. He's got backup support from Andrew Collins, and they take it away out of trouble.
Gee, there's some terrific passages of play. Absolute fantastic stuff.
Gee, Eishold's handball was good. I just wonder if they went one too many, Don. I wonder if Newport should have banged it to the goal square. Anyway, Mew at the back. Jackson, left foot round the body, wants Healy. Collins does well. Pritchard, good tackle again. The Demons have got the Hawks under pressure. Tuck cleverly. Lovett should take it comfortably, and he does. Quickly goes on with it. Good kick to Bennett. Platten at the back. Tingay, a high one. Collins forces it through for a behind.
It was a great effort by Platten, wasn't it? Because there was a certain mark to Bennett, and Platten, only half the size of Bennett, jumped up there and managed to get the ball to ground.
Melbourne, a very young side. They look fresh and they look pretty fit and fast. It's going to be a tough game for Hawthorn by the looks of things. Chris Mew finds Lawrence, who's getting a ton of possessions. On to Jenke, so is he. Jenke at half-back, kicks it around the outer wing. He's got a man. It was Kennedy. He couldn't take the mark. Now Howard was grabbed when he didn't have it, so that'll be a free kick to Melbourne. Howard, the left footer, goes short. Finds Jackson, whose pace is worrying Hawthorn. He sets it up for Lyon. Mew comes over the top and fists it to the boundary line, but it's all Melbourne there. Greg Healy keeps it in and then hooks it back in front of goal. Bennett couldn't quite take the mark. Newport swoops on it. Now it's Chris Mew. Oh, he nearly mucked that up, Chris Mew. He nearly lost it again. Gets in the hand pass to Tuck. Tuck goes inside. Andrew Collins. This is where Hawthorn are dangerous. Anderson to Dunstall, and look at the lead and look at the pass. That's beautiful football. And Hall is clear.
And down the other end, Bennett is injured. He's got an injured ankle after flying for that mark.
Dunstall from 50 metres, kicks it goal, he hooks it across, and another behind on the board to the Hawks. And there's Darren Bennett hobbling around a little bit after that fly for that mark. 3-8 the Hawks, Melbourne 5-6.
10 points of difference. Grinter short to Howard. Playing very well, Howard. Brereton.
Been quiet, Dermott.
Well, he's one of the all-time greats and loves a big occasion. And I think nobody would love to play a big one on Tucky's 404th, but he hasn't had a sniff today. Grinter from Howard. Tingay. Melbourne playing well. Stein's in the pocket. He should kick it to him now. He does, and it's a good kick.
Good positioning by Steins.
Well, he's got Lovett at centre-half forward on his own. Bennett in the goal square. He's going to pop it towards Bennett and hope, and he's got him.
Well, Langford was in two minds at that occasion. He looked at Lovett, who was in front, and the ball was meant for Lovett, but Bennett, who's got that injury, got in front of Langford, who just caught him in two minds, and there he is, clear Bennett. A little unsure when handling the ball, Bennett. Maybe that injury a problem.
20 metres out, straight in front, drop punt, and straight through the middle. Bennett's kicked 3, and Melbourne are away, 6-6 to 3-8.
Well, it was good play by Steins. He was the one who set that play up. He played Lawrence at his own game. He ran deep into the forward line, got away from Lawrence, and he was spotted and rewarded, and then set it up nice and long and high. And also good play by Lovett to get down off the half-back line.
(6-6 to 3-8), and the Hawks have made a few defensive errors, which Alan Jeans won't be too happy with. There's Garry Ayres, a quick kick to the half-forward line. Morrissey and Brereton. No one down for Hawthorn. That wasn't good play. Road gives it to Yates to the centre wing area. Good play by Mew. There's Ayres. Oh, chipping in beautifully was Andrew Obbs. That was well done. The ex-Port Adelaide star from centre wing. Excellent football. Jenke at the back. That's all Melbourne as Jackson swoops on it. He'll go with a little short kick. He's looking for Healy. This should suit Melbourne. A good build-up. A quick kick, but the Hawthorn players swoop on the ball. Oh, Lawrence and Anderson combined. And they get out of jail there, Hawthorn. This is Tony Hall. He wasn't sure where to go. Now he's found a man. He's found Platten. What will Hawthorn do? He's looking for Dunstall. Grinter and Kennedy, and Grinter over the back has taken a good mark.
That's a good effort by Grinter, because he was doubled up in pain just a minute or so earlier.
Rodney Grinter at the half-back runs around John Kennedy onto the left foot. The centre wing, Paul Deere will fly from behind. Can't take the mark. The backup support from Garry Ayres. Quick hand pass, finds Tuck. Tuck should go long. No, he doesn't. Hand pass to Pritchard. Pritchard to half forward. They need Brereton firing the Hawks. Over the back, he's attacked from all angles, Brereton. Road ridden into the ground. Play on, says the umpire. Swooping on us is Anderson. An open goal and a goal to Hawthorn. The Hawks fight back. Brereton in the scuffle. 6-6-42 Melbourne, 4-8-32 Hawthorn.
Well, I'd like to see that again in replay. I thought that was a free kick to Road at centre half back. He was pushed forward and it looked very like a free kick to Road there on screen, but it was Anderson who got onto it, a real opportunist Anderson, and he's kicked his first.
Hawthorn need Brereton to throw his weight around at that half-forward area, Don.
Well, I reckon you can almost put that goal down to Brereton. Just his presence put the pressure on Road. And he was just able to give up the footy at the wrong time. Healy, Ayres and Lyon tried to half-volley it. Eishold again cleverly. Collins. Well, he won't stop for anything, Collins. We know that. Jenke. Steins. Played Pritchard. Now Brereton will get it from Platten. Not a good kick. Road with him. Still Brereton. Caught. Not gone, though. Well played, Campbell. Pritchard. Oh, the hip and shoulder was good by Grinter. Healy with courage. This is a wonderful game. Yates. Well done. Kept his head and kicked it to Newport, who missed it and then ducks and goes for holding the ball.
Yes, good decision, good tackle by Ayres. Just not playing with the same confidence, Stephen Newport, as he did last year.
Again, Brereton the target. Great pressure off the ground, Brereton. Dunstall tries to pave the way for Morrissey. Platten, Brereton, left foot, goes nowhere. Yates, caught by Deere. Great tackle. Healy. Gee, it's a tough footy. It's not red hot, it's white hot. And Obbs does it and does it very well to Phoebe at half-back.
Oh, that was ferocious tackling that by Hawthorn, and Melbourne did well to get out of it too. From half-back. Stephen Phoebe. A loose one with Pritchard. On to Jenke. Jenke looking for Garry Ayres. He runs straight at the ball. Gets it a hand pass to Whitman. Whitman a quick kick to the half-forward line, but the mark is taken by Jimmy Steins. This is a magnificent game of football. Steins, a short chip, dangerous play because Paul Deere spoils. John Kennedy punches it on. Grabbed by Howard. Oh, clever little kick. Finds Eishold. Eishold to Lovett. To full forward. Bennett, a beautiful lead that is.
There's just no way a fullback can cut that off. Lovett looked down the ground. Bennett could make up his mind which way he wanted to go. He went to the right, and there's just nothing that Langford could have done on that occasion.
Fantastic pass, great lead, and we got the chance to see the booming kicks of Darren Bennett again here. He will kick from about 55 metres. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that booming drop punt, but to the right, it's just a little bit more difficult. You're kicking down that end that he's kicking to, just a little breeze. But, gee, kicks. Paul Deere is off the ground for the Hawks. The short pass comes out to Lawrence. Oh, he was nearly off. In fact, I thought the umpire might call him on then. The short chip pass. Finds Pritchard.
And Paul Hudson on too, and he's gone to the forward pocket.
Yeah, well, his cleverness will certainly help up there. They're getting a bit top-heavy. There's Brereton. Morrissey and Lyon. Steins brought to ground. A quick hand pass. Finds Jackson. Jenke has been a good player, but he's taken the ball over the line. Half forward for Melbourne.
They lead 43-32. It's been a ferocious game. Lyon at the side. Jackson and Tuck. Obst, who's playing the Todd Viney role today with a strong body. Oh, Eishold again to Healy. Drop punt and puts it through.
Oh,
hits a post. Thought it was through.
It was floating as it went through, but isn't Eishold doing a wonderful job getting under the packs and putting it out? He's setting it up all the time. He's putting himself underneath and then feeding it on with handball.
Well, he's had 8 handballs, Don, and 5 kicks, Eishold. He's been the playmaker for the Demons. He's been just so sure under pressure. Langford, who's been under plenty today, with a torpedo that carries about 70 metres. 3 Demons at the back, including Grinter. Phoebe, Greg Healy. He had Lyon and Healy, had 2 to choose from. Now Spalding wants it in the pocket. Bennett at full forward. He goes across towards Bennett. Kennedy, Collins, Mew. Quick kick. And a good smother there by Tingay put the pressure on and forced it out.
Would have been better for Obst on that occasion to rove the pack instead of flying against Bennett. They all know that Bennett's going to go up. The fullback normally would punch it away. It's better for those fellows to wait on the ground and run and crumb the pack.
Lawrence against Spalding, the loose one comes to Michael Tuck, and he's not happy with himself as he has a touch of the fumbles. 404th league game, and a moving tribute before the game. Both banners from the clubs. Magnificent player over a long, long period. And there he is again, contesting out on that half-back area for the Hawks. Look at the weight, 79 kilograms. Michael Tucker, age 37. What a great effort. There's Ricky Jackson. Oh, well done by Morrissey to put this pressure on. Brereton just took his eyes off the ball and went for the man instead. There's a free kick to Phoebe.
Well, it had the desired effect, didn't it, when Brereton went through?
Howard, the advantage paid to half forward, and waiting back is the cool and calm Chris Mew. Mew goes wide, finds Anderson. They've got a loose man in Andy Collins if he can get it to him quickly. He can. Oh, he smothered that beautifully, Collins. Back to Anderson. Anderson coming up from half back, hooks it back. Morrissey races at the ball, gets a bad bounce. Quick hand pass. Comes to Phoebe. That was from Yates. Langford is the flyer over the back. Oh, Rob's missed the attempted punch on. Suck it off the ground towards Bennett.
And Lyon's down too, Peter. He went in courageously then. It was Langford who really did have the dropping. You see there, Lyon holding his head. See there?
Knee.
Bang, the knee copped him. Takes a brave man to stand and back into a pack as Lyon did on that occasion.
Lawrence, Newport, and it's over the line for a point.
He's all right too, Lyon. He's got up. The doctors have run back to the bench. And that's a good sign for Melbourne.
6-9, 4-8, 13 points in it. Well, Hawthorn's thrown everything at Melbourne, and the Demons have stood firm. Kennedy in the back pocket. He's got Tuck very short if he wants him. And just set it up, Hawthorn. How many times have we seen this over the years? Kennedy looks for Hall in the front. Oh, a bit easy then.
Strong mark. Viney attempting to punch from behind, but a great overhead mark, Hall.
Goes to Mew at centre wing. Gee, I thought he might have got a free kick against Tingay. Grinter, Yates. Drop punt. Allen, and good mark by Healy. He's got Jackson in the pocket if he moves it quickly enough. Now he attacks the goal with a drop punt. It's a good kick. It's a goal. No, it didn't bounce over. For the second time I called Healy getting one and he didn't. Well, it must have bounced on the line. Langford. Pressure on Langford.
Good, Bennett.
Bennett, well done. Langford and Bennett. Bennett brilliantly. Lyon, well done. Phoebe. And it's going to come off.
Did they deserve a goal here? That was absolutely fantastic by Bennett. There was just no hope when he started off chasing. He ran into one smother and then the ball bounced and he ran after again. That was great play by the full forward.
Well, if Healy's ball didn't hit the line, it was as close as I've ever seen. Obviously didn't go over, but Jackson in the pocket to line up for his third. A goal-kicking rover, and he has put it through. So the Demons stretch their lead, 7-9 to 4-8.
Well, it's terrific stuff, this game. Look at Bennett. Here it is. There he gets through the tackle of Jenke, and there was this ground, and I've seen a couple of instances today where the players have bounced the ball and it just hasn't come back the right way because that ground is not holding yet. It's a new surface, and Langford trying to bounce the ball, it just got away from him.
Well, another defensive error that by the Hawks, and Melbourne swooped on it. It was great play by Bennett. There's a quick kick by Tingay to the half-forward line. The loose ball comes to Whitman. Whitman, a clever little short pass. It was intended for Pritchard. Pritchard will end up with it on the left foot. Brereton has done nothing so far, but he's marked this. At half-forward, he's been well held by Road. They really need Dermott firing.
There's no movement.
Well, the pass is on. Can Kennedy mark up in front? He can. A very strong mark.
Good kick by Brereton too.
John Kennedy. They could do with a goal here. The Hawks a little steadier because Melbourne have looked very dangerous. They've looked a lot quicker. Now he's going to the pocket. Dunstall's got a couple. That could have been a free kick to Dunstall. Yes, there's no doubt about that, Don. Don't argue with that. That was a free kick to Dunstall, though, right over his neck.
Well, I thought it was a valiant effort by Campbell on that occasion. He was going for the ball. Watch this.
Oh, yeah. Free kick right in the back of the head. Although he had two to beat Dunstall.
He propped at the critical time, didn't he?
Yeah, cleverly done. Oh, Dunstall, they need this, Hawthorn. They wouldn't want Melbourne to get much further in front. From dead in front. Jason Dunstall kicks at goal. He's kicked one already. Hit the post. Well, that makes up for the one down the other end. That evens the score. But a bad miss there from the full forward. Shouldn't miss him from there. And he's not happy with himself. No full forwards like to miss him from there.
Incidentally, these two teams started winning games in about round 16, and they've put together 6 consecutive wins each.
Good mark by Tingay. Haven't been beaten since July the 14th, so it's been a long time since either have been beaten. Tingay to centre wing Lyon, who's getting on top of Jenke in one of the big jewels of the day. Torpedo punt. Mew at the back, Spalding at the front, and Collins coming in for some help.
Some of those wins that Hawthorn have had, they've averaged about 44 points a win, whereas Melbourne, on the other hand, although they've put 6 together, have averaged about 29 points in each win.
Lawrence, Jenke, high one, Healy and Ayres. Well, the little captain's playing a great game. Bennett the target. Allen, good mark. Both Bennett and Langford running underneath it. The kick to Tuck. Phoebe with the set. Tuck holds his ground. Love it. Tingay has a shot. Drop punt. Good kick. Look at that one go through. Champagne footy for the Demons. They're soaking it up. They're 4 in front. 8-9 to 4-9.
Well, I thought Phoebe could have punched the ball down there earlier. Here, he went for the mark. I believe he should have punched it, but it was Lovett who went onto it well. And Tingay, who has really improved. He was playing for his survival 2-3 weeks ago against the West Coast, and since then has really put it together.
Again, Hawthorn in defence. That young Allen went the wrong option. He had Collins free, and he kicked it to a man who was covered in tuck. Melbourne looking good. Love it to half forward. Marnie.
He's come on for Spalding.
Garry Lyon on top of the ball. Tried to get it out. There's Muse shuffling it out to Pritchard. He's caught. And it's a Melbourne free kick.
And Lovett doing well off that half-back line. He was the one who got it out of the centre too.
Simon Eishold. Bennett is back one out. This is dangerous. Bennett's one out with Langford. Oh, Langford's caught out of position. Bennett should mark or punched away at the split second.
Well done by Langford, because he was out of position.
I'll say he was gone for all money.
Joe Palooka.
And it's in that, deep in that forward pocket for the Demons. Oh, look at Bennett over the top to Healy. Swooping on its ears. Oh, he's lost it. He's fumbled. The hand pass to Obbs. Obbs brought the ground. Ayres in after, dives on top of it desperately, and they had a real chance, Melbourne, there through Andrew Obbs.
That ground's just not holding, is it? The players are really going hard at the ball, and just at the critical time when they want to turn, change direction or alter their speed, the ground gives way.
4 goals the margin, Melbourne lead. A good effort this by Melbourne. There's Jenke, he and Lyon having a fantastic battle. The ball stays in play. Hall, cleverly. Back to Platten. Johnny Platten, who started off so well, gets around to Collins. Collins battling away. Grabbed there by Dean Anderson. Paul Hudson. That was Howard to Steins. Garry Ayres goes back and takes the safe mark, and is that 50? No, there wasn't much in that. 3 minutes, and Hawthorn could well do with a couple of goals before half-time.
Ayres wide, a panic here for the Hawks. Morrissey from centre wing. Drop punt for Hudson. Howard did pretty well at the front. Rhodes there to help him. No Shepherd coming.
Actually, he's done well today, Howard, hasn't he? If we remember, we had a game out at Waverley where he broke his jaw in the first couple of minutes, had his jaw wired up and lost a lot of weight. It's a credit to him he's got back into this senior team.
Rode, Grinter, Platten waits, weaves his way through and chips it over to Anderson. About 50 metres out. Drop punt. And he doesn't kick it well. Really should have kicked it to the front. He knows it. 4 goals the difference. Don, Healy and Jackson have done well in the second quarter as Rovers.
The second quarter, yes. I think Healy's come under notice because of those 2 strong marks.
Here's Howard from the back pocket. Wants Steins. Obst. Clever. Jackson. To the space. Healy. They can see ground. It's an important footy. Tuck. Morrissey. Yates was able to take it. Not a good kick from Tuck. And look at the Melbourne runners. They've got a heap of them. Love it. Drop punt. Phoebe sits and waits. Pritchard. Tingay misses. Mew quick kick. Howard goes to ground. On the up from Phoebe. Grinter. Eishold. Mew did pretty well. Free kick to Eishold. Play on. Lyon. Nice kick. Great kick, Lyon.
A bit of a hamstring stretcher, that one.
Kicked it to the space and Bennett made it. Well, he's on a tough angle. He's kicked 3, Bennett. He's looking for all the options.
You can see a little bit more daylight than what the camera does. Oh, what a kick.
Check side and hits the post. 3-3 to Bennett. 8-10 to Melbourne in the last minute of the first half.
3 goals, 3 to Bennett.
Well, he's kicked 79 for the season, and so's Dunstall at the other end.
Langford made a few mistakes on that back line. Hawthorn haven't been as assured as they normally are. Oh, look at this. Hudson couldn't take the mark. Steins was linked. Will the advantage be paid? I don't think so. The ball will have to come back. A vital 44 seconds of play. If Melbourne score a goal here, they'll be hard to run down. The short one is on. Punched down by Ayres. The Hawthorn players pouncing in on top of it. Here's Steins. Tingay from 45 metres. Lyon is the flyer. Bennett. Left foot has missed. Oh, they've had some chances, Melbourne. They've really had the chances to nail Hawthorn. And he should have kicked that, Darren Bennett. 8-11 plays 4-9. And 21 seconds of play left in this half.
Well, a good thing as far as Melbourne are concerned that he's over that ankle injury. It might still be sore, but he's showing no signs of that ankle injury. Earlier in this quarter, he flew for a mark, went down and really had to, he was hobbling around for quite a while.
Langford. Centre square. Oh, too easy, Steins. He's playing well. Lawrence has had a lot of touches, goes short. Tingay, we're in the last 12 seconds. He's going to have to attack. Bennett's got to have to mark it. Allen with him. Clock will beat them. Ticking away. Siren sounds. And what a first half it's been. With the Demons in front. 8-11-59 to Hawthorn 4-9-33. A 26-point margin to Melbourne on Michael Tott's historic day. And the red and blue flags are waving. Platten started well, so did the Hawks. Dunstall looks at the scoreboard, can't believe it. Brereton just 3 kicks, thrashed by Road. And the man who's setting a record today is looking down the barrel at half-time. It's 8-11 to 4-9. Welcome back to AFL Live. At half-time, Melbourne leads by 26 points. 8-11-59, Jackson 3, Bennett 3, Hawthorn 4-9-33. So it's 59-33 at half-time. A wonderful first half. Peter McKenna and Don Scott. Don, I haven't seen you this happy in ages.
Well, I've been bleating all year. We've seen about 80 matches, and I've been on to the director week after week about giving me a decent match, and I finally got one. I know the margin's 26 points, but it's the best game I've seen this year.
Yes, it is a fantastic game, and they've surprised me, Melbourne. Don, I really came here thinking that Hawthorn and whitewashed Melbourne. Melbourne have been ferocious, and I think
the whole
game is fantastic, and I think Melbourne are starting to look a lot quicker and fitter. And
well, they're getting the ball, aren't they? But then again, you can't dismiss Hawthorn, Peter, because they've got a lot of stars. On paper, they've got a lot of stars, my word, and they could come back as we've seen the lead change.
Well, if we look at the stats, Don, they need Brereton firing at centre forward. The Hawks. We look at the stats, well, again, not much in the kicks or the handballs or the marks. Everything's pretty. Well, the game is even, but they look far more dangerous up forward with Bennett and those little blokes swooping around their forward line.
So that's the situation at half-time here at the MCG. A couple of other very important games being played in Melbourne today, including at Waverley, where it's North Melbourne against Collingwood. Let's go out and join Drew Morford for the half-time summary there.
Well, Bruce, a lot of the interest, John Longmire. He's kicked just 1 goal to half-time and still needs 3 more to bring up his century. He kicked a goal from a mark at the 13-minute mark of the first quarter. Maybe North Melbourne a little bit Longmire conscious because they had most of the play in the second quarter but kicked just 1 goal 7, and at half-time Longmire has 1 goal 4. So at half-time it's the Pies by 22 points, 9 goals 8 to 5 goals 10. Tony Shaw and Darren Mullane both playing for Collingwood. Brian Taylor started on the bench and hasn't had a run as yet. Some highlights of the first half. Pokes it in short to Krasiska. Good mark. Oh, not quite. Off to Dacos. Taken forward in the tackle. No whistle. Barwick gets it out of the pack. Goal to Barwick.
Gets the kick away for North Melbourne. To half forward. North Melbourne mark to Carey. Handball over the top. McCarthy. High kick. Longmire's back there. Can't mark. Punched away by Turner. In the goal square, Rock kicks the goal. Well, it'll either be a free kick or an all-clear goal. It's an all-clear goal.
Paddle backwards. Martin Brown's new opponent. Gavin Brown in after it again. It comes to Dacos. Gets rid of the hand pass well. Krasiska on his own as Starcevic. He couldn't miss this time, Craig Starcevic. And doesn't.
He bounces just outside the 50-metre line. Monkhurst gets the tap. Back it comes to Dwyer. Dwyer's high left foot kick to full forward. Longmire can't mark. Punched away by McEwen. Down to the front of the pack where Tony Shaw gathers. McCarthy kicks the goal.
Manson on for Collingwood. Manson wins a beauty. Richardson, great hand pass. Starcevic from 50 metres. Beautiful kick by the man who couldn't kick anything earlier. So Collingwood needing to win here today to keep the double chance in the finals, doing it pretty well, leading by nearly 4 goals to half-time. But Robbo, do you think maybe North looking for John Longmire too much?
Well, I guess that you could accuse them of that, but I give credit to the Collingwood players further up the field, forcing North Melbourne to kick quickly, and under lots of pressure the kicks are going in with high bombs, and really it's not a good chance for John Longmire. He's kicked 1. Really, I think he's just a little anxious, Drew.
Yeah, and Gavin Brown at full forward has done the job for Collingwood. Brian Taylor not the first option. Brown's kicked 3.
I think Brian Taylor would be chafing at the bit. He'd be very anxious to get on with just 1 week to go. Brown has kicked 3 and looking good, but Collingwood have plenty of incentive and doing it well.
And that's exactly how it's panning out here at the moment. Repeating the half-time score here at VFL Park. Collingwood 9-8-62, leading North 5-10-40.
Well, as Drew Morford said, Collingwood needing to win at Waverley and West Coast need to win to keep the double chance at Cardinia Park. We're going down to Geelong after this break. Welcome back to the MCG AFL Live, the 7 network going everywhere today. Let's go down to Cardinia Park. Big match there. West Coast needing to win to keep the double chance. Sandy Roberts is at Geelong, and Sandy was pretty close at quarter time. What's the situation at half time?
Well, Bruce, I would imagine those followers of the West Coast Eagles at the moment would be on tender hooks because the Eagles are down by 15 points. Geelong 7-6-48, kicking 4 goals in that second term. The Eagles only 2, and the Eagles 5-3-36 at half time. In fact, Geelong are starting to show glimpses of their old form with players the calibre of Paul Couch picking up a lot of touches. Bruce, Neville Bruns is playing a grand game, and in the first 3 minutes we thought it was going to be the Garry Ablett show all over again. He booted 2 goals 2 in almost 3 or 4 minutes, and we thought anything was going to happen, but so far he's had 3 for the game.
Just briefly, Sumich and Lamb both under an injury cloud. How are they going?
Yes, Sumich has kicked 1 for the day so far and has worked hard. Dwayne Lamb's probably the Eagles' best player. He's got that arm very heavily plastered and strapped, but has played extremely well. The Eagles have got far too many good players down at the moment, Bruce, and they're all going to need a big lift in the second half if they're going to get the points and the double chance.
Thanks for that, Sandy. That score at half-time, 7-6 to 5-3. The Cats in front, 48 to 36. Now, the other scores, Footscray and Brisbane. Ashenko's been reported, we believe, for Brisbane, and Coleman snapped a behind post or a goal post like Matthews did a few years ago for Footscray. They're bolting in at the moment, 10-13 to 4-2. The Saints and Essendon pretty tight at Moorabbin. Bombers have kept a few of their stars out of the game. It's 6-7 to 7-6. The Saints in front. Fitzroy, 9-10. The Blues coming back in that second quarter, 8-10. So just a goal the difference. Tomorrow on 7, it's Sydney going for 3 in a row at the end of the season against Richmond, who are really trying to fight for their survival. So just check your local guides for that match right around Australia. High drama here at the MCG. It's been a magnificent first half. Back with more after the break. Back on the field, so are the Demons after half-time. Don Scott has his chalkboard. Don, the Demons have done very well roving the packs.
Well, they have, Bruce. I've been impressed with it. And say, for example, Bennett's contesting up there. What the Melbourne guys are doing is starting here and coming past. The ball's usually hitting the ground, and then they may feed it out. It's also particularly up around the ground at different parts of the ground, and the main fellow getting out is Melbourne's number 25, Simon Eishold. He'll get under the packs, and then we've seen him feed it on with a handball to the advantage of the team. They're doing that particularly well. Carlton do it, especially up around that area. Carlton, with their small men, do it particularly well. But the Melbourne fellows starting to come to grips with it.
Thanks for that, Don. Now, three-quarter time in Adelaide, the double-header there. West leading Sturt 13-10 to 7-14 to keep their finals chance alive. In the other matches, at quarter-time, South lead Woodville 5-4 to 4-3. They've also got a chance for the 5. The big game, Norwood and North with the double chance, 4-6 to 2-3 North. And Port and Central in the 5-2-2, Port 4-4. Well, Michael Roberts is on the boundary line. It was Melbourne in the first half, Michael.
Yes, and Bruce, I managed to get into the Hawthorn rooms, and apparently John Kennedy Sr. spoke to the senior side to lift the side for Michael Tuck's 404th game, and apparently a lot of them felt very nervous. Key players are down, and Dermot Brereton hasn't been on his game, and apparently he was pretty nervous before the game. Alan Jeans honed in on the problems. Pace around the packs, especially Jackson and Obster really going well. They're being murdered around the packs, actually. They're being forced wide. Melbourne are blocking up the forward line down in Hawthorn's forward line, and Garry Ayres looked very proppy walking up the race. He was worked on at half-time for an ankle injury.
Thanks for that, Michael. Now, let's have a look at Ricky Jackson, who's had a big first half, Don Scott.
Yes, I thought he was a little quiet, although he kicked 2 goals in that first quarter, Jackson, but you can see his second quarter exceptional.
Jeeky, 14 kicks, played very, very well, but so has Gary Lyon. So he's had his work cut out, Ray Jeeky.
And Graham Yates started on the wing, went to the back pocket. Yates, not a bad effort, 13 possession for a half.
Start of the second half. The Demons by 26. What an important 2 quarters of footy for the two clubs. Eishold, who was a star in the first half, Lyon.
And McGuinness is on for Hawthorn on the half-back flank.
Bennett gives him a lead. Lyon kicks it towards Bennett. Good tackle on Steins. Lawrence got it back to Langford, who missed Anderson. Pritchard. Here's McGuinness, who Don just mentions come on. Left foot to centre wing. Hall against Viney. Hall's kick to Kennedy. Deere, who went off in the second quarter. Good tackle on him. Kennedy breaks the tackle. Morrissey. Campbell stands his ground brilliantly. Grinter sweeps one to Viney. Phoebe very short, doesn't go there. Kicks a high one, not a good kick. Well done, Newport. McGuinness, second touch. Anderson. McGuinness again, caught. Good tackle by Healy. Phoebe caught by Platten, but gets it out. Healy clever. Obbs couldn't take it. Steins. It's frantic already. McGuinness. Pritchard. Good tackle, Eishold. Mew and Lawrence. Lawrence smothered by Healy. Chance now, Hall. Again the pressure from the Demons. Marnie. Howard. Lyon with a chance now. Jeeke and Eishold behind play. Lyon with one hand. And the captain charges the goal and drills it through.
And what a great passage to play. It was Howard. Lyon who flew for the ball over the top. And then a great tackle by Eishold to allow Lyon plenty of time to steady. And Lyon just didn't let him down. There's the kick. Jeeke and Lyon flying. It was Lyon back onto it quickly. Now look at Eishold out of picture there. Just going out of picture. Plenty of time for Lyon to kick. Melbourne's 9.
32 points the margin. Centre of the ground where Melbourne have done well. That's Healy, a quick kick. Pritchard races out after it. Who will it sit for? Pritchard gets there first. Hand pass to McGuinness. On to Collins. Collins to the half-forward line. He's found Platten. They need goals and they need them quickly, the Hawks.
Tuck now on the ball for Hawthorn.
Half-forward. It's punched to ground. Melbourne roving the packs well. Brett Lovett gets it further afield. This is Lyon. Oh, he was attacked heavily. McGuinness straight back to Lyon. Lyon an open goal. Pops it through. Another Hawthorn.
That's a free kick. It's against Bennett.
It's coming back. It's no goal. It's a free kick back.
But that was still a good effort by Bennett. It showed the intent was right, and he set it up on that occasion. Bennett, unfortunately, a little indiscriminate in the tackle.
Scott McGuinness, a wobbly kick to the half-back line. More Melbourne looking very ferocious. Here's Tony Hall. He's shoved off the ball. Steins, good play. On the Viney to the full forward line. Langford at the back, can't take the mark. Tingay. Brilliant effort by Tingay to hook that back. Langford fisted to the line and puts it over. Oh, a lot of pressure out there, and it's going to be a tough battle for the Hawks to get back into it the way Melbourne are attacking that ball.
Well, you reckon the Demons owe the Hawks a couple over the years. Tuck, great tackle. Pressure, Newport off the ground and behind. That preliminary final from a few years ago. That record-breaking grand final at this ground in 1988. And suddenly they're twice the score. It's 66-33. And the Hawks, who the bookmakers said if they got the double chance this morning would be favourites for the flag. A shell shock, free kick to Obbs.
Yes, no, the umpire picked that up. It was a subtle push. I didn't think the umpire would see it. But Obbs in front. He's willing to put himself in front. He's one of those unobtrusive players, Obbs, but very effective.
The target, Bennett, as always.
What can you do, Peter, when a man comes from behind like that? Langford did the right thing. He was just outskilled on that occasion. Maybe he took the arm of Langford, Bennett, as he went through to take that mark and just pull him off balance.
Well, this for his 80th goal of the season. He's kicked 79, had 76 before today. Has kicked 3 goals for. And from the goal square, the drop punt is through for another one. The Demons are away. It's 10-12 to 4-9.
Yes, and when you've got a forward up there such as Bennett, or a forward in any game or any team that can kick goals, you are rewarded for your work further up the field. I thought he might have had a hold of Langford. It didn't show up there. But it was a good passage of play and good positioning by Bennett.
Melbourne 10-12, lead the Hawks 4-9, and they're playing great football, Melbourne. Jackson loses it, the tuck, and beautiful smother by Marnie. Winter, Lyon, and Lyon is now on McGuinness. Maybe Jinky shouldn't have been moved off him, but he has, and Lyon in everything at the moment. Garry Lyon. Gee, this will lift the rafters off the Melbourne members if he can kick this from 55. Torpedo is a wobbly one. Players fly uncontested. Is Obbs.
They can do no wrong.
Well, Alan Jeans will not be happy. An uncontested mark. Andrew Obbs directly in front. Look at this.
Well, you can do no wrong when you start taking marks like that.
Obbs from directly in front. Another one on the board for the Demons. Hawthorn a shell shot. Melbourne playing brilliantly. 11-12. Hawthorn 4-9.
Well, that wasn't a good kick by Garry Lyon. He was going for distance. He was a long way out. He went for the torpedo. 55 metres. You could see there, went off the right side of his boot. And Obbs all by himself. He is a ruck rover.
Well, they're celebrating in the stands. There's a long way to go, though. Melbourne have kicked 5-6 to 1-1 since halfway through the second quarter. Lyon is killing them. Marnie misses it. But Jackson swoops on it and puts it through. A gem. Well, if they've played any better than this, I'll be surprised. 12-12 to 4-9.
Well, as I said before, when things are hot, you're hot, and they're certainly running out. Look at this. Marnie overruns the ball, can't control it, and there's Jackson. From nowhere, just used his skill, and as soon as that ball left his boot, he was 40 metres out. Jackson knew it was a goal.
Well, he's kicked 4, so's Bennett, but Garry Lyon has turned this game inside out.
Yes, I think Wade Jinky will have to go back on him. Yeah, there's Whitman. Oh, straight to Lovett. They're firing Melbourne. Oh, magnificent smother that was by Jackson. A sweeping hand pass to Newport. Is this another one? Oh, don't tell me another one. Brilliant football to Melbourne. 13-12 Melbourne, Hawthorn 4-9.
Well, the thing is, they're getting the ball out of the centre. It was Lovett who got the ball out of the centre. A magic trap by Jackson. Here's Lovett's kick. Jackson picks that ball up on the half volley. A long handball. He was looking for Newport. It really wasn't a good one, but it was out in his direction. Pressure coming on Newport, but he's still got his kick away.
Well, the Demons have kicked 5 goals in 8 minutes. No team has won a grand final.
Brereton's just cannoned into Obbs. There should be a free kick.
Well, Brereton's had a quiet one. It's gone to Hawthorn, the free kick, a wobbly one. Hall misses it. Free kick to Hawthorn.
Well, they might have gone for the old 2-card trick here, Melbourne.
Well, John, remember they led Carlton by 9 goals on the Queen's birthday long weekend and fell in. Well, they're 9 goals in front at the moment. They were 54 points in front that day. They're 55 in front today. Platten's kick's a good one. So the Hawks get one against the tie. Jeans looks on the coach. 5-9 to 13-12. And Platten gets his first.
Yes, and that all really, I think, started in the centre when Brereton went in, cannoned into Obbs. Then the Melbourne guys playing behind, a little indiscriminate. That was a good kick by Platten. Now they'll have to man up in the back end of the square, Melbourne, not allow Brereton to run through as he did.
Lawrence and Stein. Steins has won the hit out. There's Whitman crashing into the pack. And the umpire, a bit lucky to get that free kick, Chris Whitman. Very lucky. Now, can they mount a challenge? Kennedy. Collins. Out to the pocket. Brereton sets himself. Thump down the ground. He goes in hard, Dermott. Still trying to get the ball out, and the umpire will call play on. Hawthorn swoop on it. Anderson, his teammate Collins got in the way, smothered off the boot. Grabbed by Healy, a beautiful smother on Healy. Oh, players took their eyes on the ball. Allows Morrissey, took too long, but it's a free kick. It's coming back to Pritchard, I feel. And maybe Hawthorn can mount a challenge. You never know about this team.
Well, they're a star-studded team, and on paper, they've got stars on every line. And as you said, Petey, it's very hard to keep them down.
And often when Brereton crashes into guys, that's when they lift Hawthorn, so who knows. Darren Pritchard from 45 metres, the drop punt. This is nearly a goal. It is a goal. Hawthorn coming back. The Hawks move their score on to 6-9, a long way to go. Melbourne 13-12.
Well, Melbourne possibly had the ball running their way. Now that Hawthorn are getting those last two goals, they've really worked for them. I mentioned earlier about the way that Brereton went in hard into the centre of that pack, upset them. Now Melbourne guys are starting to run behind and give away stupid frees.
90-45. Hawthorn with the last two goals. Obbs to Eishold. Bennett versus Langford again. Tingay from the side. Langford stands up. Tuck. Platten. Platten's mark.
No, I think no, he was committed on that occasion, Viney. Although he did take the mark, you can see there, Viney was committed in his run to the ball.
So Platten from halfback. Hall and Lawrence. Eishold. Marnie. Off the ground, Mew. Grinter. Still Grinter. Good tackle, Jenke. Newport. Pritchard's tackle good. Lawrence. Whitman. Kennedy. Chips it across to Brereton. Hawthorn are starting to find something now. Left foot, not a good one. Love it. Clever. Newport's got to break the tackle. Campbell versus Dunstall. Campbell wins this time.
He's done well today.
Lyon and McGuinness. Lyon's free kick.
Campbell's actually come out and met the ball on a lot of occasions and left Dunstall behind.
Lyon from the centre wing. Drop punt, Bennett again the target. Langford can't beat him. Not often you see Langford outgunned. Bennett from 50 metres out.
He's dangerous from there, Bruce.
Accuracy will be the problem, the distance won't be.
It'll take his best, but his best is good enough. Drop punt. It's got the distance all right, but not the accuracy. And a behind to Melbourne. So Bennett's kicked 4-5. The Demons are up to 13-13 to 6-9.
Well, I can't remember a full forward kicking as long consistently as what Bennett does do and can do.
You'd almost have to go back to McKenna at Collingwood.
Thank you, Bruce, as we see Tuck, the centre wing. Kennedy, Whitman, Kennedy trying to get in the hand pass. Look at the pressure. Could have been a free kick against Kennedy. It was on Obbs. Free kick to Andrew Obbs, no doubt about it. He's a good player, Obbs. Recruited from Port Adelaide. There's the torpedo punt. Bennett again. Lyon. Tuck. Michael Tuck was he grabbed. Umpire said no. Eishold. The tackle by Tuck was fair. Oh, no!
Oh.
Very lucky free kick.
Well, I feel a bit sorry for Michael Tuck. You can see there him remonstrating. I think, Tucky, you might have been right. I thought he got a good tackle on it.
Well, that looked like... Let's have a look at the tackle. Could have been a free kick to Tuck holding the man. Now, let's have a look at this tackle. He comes in. Oh, yeah, maybe technically the umpire...
Very technical, though, wasn't it?
Had him by the jumper. A little bit high, maybe. But Tuck could have been received a free before that. A vital kick this one.
He's not too confident. He's looking around for options, Simon Eishold.
Eishold might run out and open up the goals. There's the kick. It's a good-looking drop punt. It's a beautiful kick. It's a goal. A steadier for Melbourne, 14-13-97 to Hawthorn, 6-9-45. Eishold's kick 2.
And what a magic goal that was from that pocket. Now, when Eishold actually did get the ball, he looked around for options, was very deliberate, taking a little time to settle down. But the beauty of Eishold's play today is he's been under packs and he's been feeding it out with very intelligent handball.
97-45. The Demons with a big grip on this. Yates to Steins. It's all working for them. Centre half forward Jackson. Well done, Allen. Missed by Tingay. Obst, who's been brilliant, misses Jackson. Obst again. Marnie, oh gee, went straight through Platten. Tingay, or Phoebe off the ground. Healy, Pritchard with him. Healy caught, gone. Holding the ball, good decision. Went to ground. Platten and Healy. Well, you saw Platten throw the ball into Healy's head. Probably an accident. So Healy reacted. Pritchard to centre wing. Lawrence in the front. Lovett.
Done well, Lovett, hasn't he?
Oh, he's a great player, Brett Lovett.
One of 3 Melbourne players to have played each and every game this season, along with Tingay and Steins. Lovett to centre half forward. Marnie in the front. McGuinness does well. Jenke. Still Jenke. Awkward kick. Poor kick. Howard. Deere, who's been well beaten today. Howard. And that'll be a ball up.
Well, this crowd really appreciative of the efforts of the players on both sides. You can hear them putting their hands together in a round of applause. And that's always a good indication, a very knowledgeable crowd.
Lawrence and Steins been a great clash. Look at Lovett in after the ball, taps it on. Tingay is a very promising young player. It's all Hawthorn though. Collins to Whitman. Whitman, a clever balk, then kicks long to the pocket. They need Brereton to take a mark. Punched away, Paul Deere. Hand pass to Kennedy, an open goal coming up. Hooks it across his body. It's all Melbourne, and is that deliberate? Oh,
no,
boy.
That wasn't deliberate. He was trying to get away, Peter.
I think he walked to the line. It was good play by Viney, but very dangerous as we see the thump over the top. Let's see what the Hawks can do here. Tony Hall in after good football. On the Whitman, on the left foot, hooking it back at goal. Dunstall and Campbell. And the ball is wide and through for 1 point to the Hawks, but they need goals. A great performance this by Melbourne. It's a long time since I've seen them play this well. 14-13 to the Hawks, 6-10.
Well, John Northey put Campbell on Dunstall and Rode on Brereton, and they've both worked. Phoebe. Deere caught, as he's been most of the day. Hall. McGuinness attacks the goal with a very good kick. Scott McGuinness gets his first. Hawthorn 7th. They won't lie down, but they're a long way behind.
Well, he came off the bench, Scott McGuinness, at half-time, replacing injured Garry, and this was inspirational stuff. The way he ran onto the ball here, got around, broke the tackle, and from 40 metres on that trusty left foot, a really good goal.
Melbourne lead by 7-3. Steins has been a good player. Lyon, oh, he trapped that beautifully on to Healy. Tony Hall has tried his heart out. Here's Jenke. Been a good player, Ray Jenke. Onto the left foot, the chip pass. Anderson, and the Hawks now mounting a challenge again. I'll tell you what, 7-3 is nothing to this team as the ball comes to Dunstall. The ball hits the deck, tapped on by Lawrence. Oh, Campbell's been good at fullback today. He's been fantastic as he kicks to the line, and the Melbourne members, they stand up and applaud. That was great play because Hawthorn were about to swoop on that loose ball.
Well, he was outnumbered left, right and centre, Campbell, and he stood his ground and did it brilliantly. Steins over the back. Whitman. Eishold puts the pressure on, as he's done all day. Lyon drops it. Gets a free kick. Bit lucky.
Very lucky.
Eishold, Lyon, 2 of the big stars for Melbourne. 14 kicks, 4 handballs, Lyon. Drop punt to the pocket. Howard in the front, Tingay at the back, Jackson with pace. Left foot, Langford clever, well done. Quite brilliant there. Morrissey, he'll look up and he'll see a paddock in front of him and nobody to kick it to. And he'll cleverly done to Anderson. He had to bring it back at right angles. Pritchard in the centre. Anderson haul the target. Lovett in the front spot. Hall gets rid of him and gives away a free kick.
Looks as if Platten is now playing out of the back pocket on Jackson, allowing Collins to go up the ground.
Lovett plays on to Jackson. Jackson's pace worrying Platten. Lyon again. Well, you consider the contribution Lyons made compared with Brereton at the other end, and it's enormous. From 55 metres, centres it to Bennett. Healy, Newport, the Hawks swoop on him. Obst is there. Still Obst fighting it out. Well, Don, every time they kick it high, Bennett's got a 50-50 chance of winning it.
Oh, yes, he's really playing with confidence. The way he's now starting to leap for the ball, which he didn't do last year and the start of this year, it's a sign of a player with a lot of confidence.
Hawthorn tried to desperately get it out. Here's a chance for Melbourne again. Jackson has gone wide, and it's out in the full. And little Ricky Jackson with his pace, he's rode those packs beautifully. He's kicked 4. Bennett's kicked 4. Chris Mew. Now he kicks across the face. Now he's got a loose man out there in Andy Collins. He waits for the bounce. He'll have a run. Bounce of the ball. Can he get away? He's got the confidence to go short to McGuinness. How will it come off? Grinter's there for Melbourne. Handball over the top. Eishold will go short. Oh, it's a bad kick by Eishold. Straight to Jenky was not good play, and Hawthorn rebound. And the mark, this could be costly for Melbourne. Paul Deere. Dunstall should mark this. He's got the set and he marks. Yes. And the mistake of poor skill error by Simon Eishold could be costly.
I think he was exhausted after chasing for so far.
And that's what we talked about in these pressure games, how a mistake is just so critical, a skill error as Peter called it.
Dunstall from 35 metres. I think he's put it through. And the Hawks come back. Hawthorn take their score a little bit closer. 8-10, plays 14-13.
Well, that's 2 goals, 2 to Dunstall. He's been well held by Campbell. But on that occasion, we mentioned about the skill error. It was good play by Grinter to get it over to Eishold. Eishold tried to go into the centre, but he was just a little astray. It rebounded through Jenky, then to Deere, and a great lead and mark by Dunstall.
The Hawks have kicked 4 of the last 5 goals. They still trail by 39 points. But as Peter McKenna mentioned earlier, this is the one team in the competition you can never count out. Great mark, Lovett. What a start.
My word, that was a good mark, considering that John Kennedy is a very, very strong body player. He's much taller than what Brett Lovett is.
So Lovett from centre half back. Marnie the target, and he's got him. Matthew Marnie, the 21-year-old in his first season. Garry Lyon. Jenky with him. Lyon cleverly. Howard. Jenky and Deere. Great contest. Free kick to Jenky.
Yes, Howard just a little like a bull at a gate when he went back into that pack. Just got to steady down a bit. Contain the enthusiasm.
Pity in a way, because it was just going to be fascinating to see who'd win the ball out in the end. Howard traps it cleverly. Brereton runs straight over the top of him and gives away a free kick. Well, you get the feeling that Brereton is just so tight today. I've never seen him so tight. He's not loose. He seems so stressed and tense.
I think you'd call it a... You have just those days, don't you, Peter? Just can't get into it.
Howard, Marnie in the front, Mew at the back. Well done, Viney. Jackson, McGuinness with him. Still Jackson. Still Jackson, Platten over the top of him.
I thought Jackson was trying to make the play on that occasion.
What a great contest there, Jackson and Platten. 2 of the little men of the game, and they both wanted that ball. I'll tell you what, Jackson's pace is really worrying Hawthorn around those packs, and he reads it beautifully running past the packs. Platten's there. Socket wide, there's Jackson. Whitman Law, look at the speed. Fantastic play. Oh, he's flattened as he kicked it. Bennett.
Now, why didn't the umpire pay that as a free kick as he got rid of that ball? Because the advantage should have been played.
Well, Bennett's been fantastic. I agree with you, Don. Let's have a look. He cops it across the neck. And probably should have gone back to a free kick, but the umpire wasn't going to pay it. Nevertheless, it's a mark to Bennett directly in front. Going for goal number 5. Oh, he's hooked it slightly. But it's a goal. 5 goals to Bennett. Melbourne are steady at 15-13, plays 8-10.
Well, from where we were sitting, I thought he'd I'll try it again. Hook the ball, but he didn't, Jackson, Bennett. And he's kicked truly. And there he is. His 5th goal, 2 of them coming in this, the 3rd quarter.
We've had 11 goals in this 3rd term. And the Demons have got 7 of them. 103 to 58.
Paul Deere in the ruck now.
Well, he's had a quiet day, Don. He's had some mates. Morrissey round the body, Howard.
And Lawrence there on screen taking a rest in the forward pocket. And Howard, as we can see, has got the job on him.
Well, Greg Deere played in the 2s today. I was thought he might come back this week. Another ruckman for Hawthorn, premiership ruckman. Jenke at the back. Anderson. It's out of play. Well, they're playing for a lot here today. There's an opportunity of the double chance for the winner. And for the loser, it's the elimination final next week. Deere, missed by Tingay. Tuck to Pritchard. Dunstall and Brereton. Road in the front spot. Stein's got it back. Phoebe. Road, high tackle on him, not paid. Jackson. Well, Tuck went into his own man. Howard caught by Brereton.
Well, if I was Johnny Howard on that occasion, or was it Andrew Ops, I would have kicked the ball off the ground, because as soon as he got after the ball, he came up and he just ran straight into the tackle. It was good play by Howard to keep his eye on the ball and keep going, but in that situation, just kicked the ball off the ground. Good tackle by Barrett, nonetheless.
Well, it's been one of his quiet ones. From 45 metres out, drop punt. Good looking kick. And the kid gets his first. Hawthorn up to 9. It's 15-13 to 9-10. And Don, whilst there's a big difference in the score, you just get the feeling that Hawthorn's still in it.
Yes, I agree with that, Bruce. I was going to make the same comment, but then again, I suppose great minds do think alike. And there was Howard coming through. He really had no alternative but to run into Brereton. It was good play, as I said, by Howard, but he should have just kicked the ball off the ground, I believe.
Back to the centre. Paul Deere to half forward. Who'll it sit for? Oh, good play by Lovett. Fantastic play to Grinter. To the half-forward line, a one-on-one contest. Who'll get there first? It's McGuinness round the boundary line and puts it over.
And that's somebody holding. Is that Jay Viney? Yeah, Jay Viney getting up with hand on hip.
Paul Deere to do the ruck work against Steins. Steins has had most of the hit-outs. Over the back is Marnie. Here's Ben Allen. He's got a couple to beat. Lyon, the tackle is on Lyon. He's brought the ground. And the umpire, Dennis Rich, will come in and bounce it half forward for the Demons. Next goal, vital, particularly for Hawthorn. With just under 2 minutes of play left in the 3rd quarter as the ruckman race in and try and smother that ball. And Dennis Rich having none of that. There's Paul Deere grabbed by the arm.
Steins sucked in on that occasion.
He was. He needs some expert ruck coaching, Steins, down at Melbourne, I think not. Paul Deere, dangerous. That's bad play by Deere across the face. That is a shocking bit of play. Marnie, Bennett and Langford. Bennett falls over, allows Langford to race back after it. He's got it and smothered by Bennett, that handball. And that was great play, but dangerous play by Paul Deere before that.
Well, not often you see Langford outgunned as he's been today. Bennett's really matched him with strength and power. Marnie. Obst, cleverly, Tingate, left foot, high and wide, and out of play. Tingay's been good, though. He's had 15 kicks.
Good player. And he puts himself in. That statistic never shows, does it? The amount of times he's put himself in. He's done some courageous things, Tingay.
Well, Ben Allen in his first season of AFL from the back pocket. Dear the target. Does well to get it on. Lovett calls for Tingay, and then it sits for him. Lovett, who's been brilliant today, looks for Lyon. Jenky does well. Off the ground by Anderson. Kennedy, Lovett. What skill by Lovett to take it on the left hand, on the up under pressure. Healy, left foot, Platten.
Intelligent kick, wasn't it? Going for touch. He'd do a rugby union player justice, that kick.
Yeah, give him credit for that. He looked, saw no options, and kicked it to the safety of the line. Less than half a minute remaining in this third quarter. The roar for Melbourne. Lyon, Phoebe, left foot, Jackson and Collins. Collins just a little too tall. Jenky. One bounce. McGuinness. Time will beat them. 5 seconds. Hall. Morrissey misses it, and the siren will go now. And the Demons on top, 15-13, 103 to Hawthorn, 9-10, 64. Welcome back to AFL Live. The Demons kick 7, Hawthorn kick 5 in the third quarter. It's 15-13, 103 to 9-10, 64. Well, what's coming up on 7 Sport as Alan Jeans and John Northey rev the troops up. Collingwood is home by the look of it. They're bolted away. 16-14 to 6-15. Longmire only had 1 to half time, so the most he can have is 2. Collingwood wrapping up that double chance by the look of it. Geelong West Coast, this is a vital one. Well, the Cats are 3 in front, 11-10 to 9-4. The Demons will get a sniff of that. Footscray 13-16 lead Brisbane at 9-2. We believe Couch, by the way, reported for Geelong. St Kilda 16-11 to Essendon 12-12. Upset there. And Fitzroy 16-13. Wilden has 6 goals, leading Carlton 11 goals, 14. Situation here, it's the Demons 15-13 to 9-10, and John Northey would know what's happening at Geelong and would be stressing that to Melbourne now. Okay, in Adelaide, the final score, West Adelaide 19-16 beat Sturt 10-19. Sturt bottom, West in 6th position looking for a place in the 5. Half-time in the other games, South 7-6, Woodville 4-9. The big one, North 7-8. Norwood 5-5, Port and Centrals, it's Port Adelaide 6-11, well Central District 5-7 trying to hang on to their 5th spot. Well, Michael Roberts has been able to listen into John Northey and Alan Jeans. And Michael, what's the situation down there?
Well, John Northey was pretty pleased with that third quarter. He wants the centre bounces worked on just like they did there. They scored 5 goals in 8 minutes. He wants that maintained. They're running with purpose and through the corridor, and he wants that maintained as well. And also they're dropping Lovett and Grinter across that half back line, plugging up the gap for Brereton and Dunstall, and that's been frustrating for those 2 forwards. Alan Jeans, man up at all costs in the centre. It's been a huge worry all day. Too worried about the man. Slam the ball on the boot, get the ball working, get our game working, he said. And Garry has an ankle problem, but also someone fell across the back of his right knee, and he has a problem with that as well, and will not take any further part in the game.
Well, a body blow there, thanks for that, Michael, to Hawthorn with Ayres as we look at the stats at 3/4 time.
Yes, well, they should favour Melbourne as far as the possessions, but only just in the kicking department. That's where they do hold sway. Not much in the marks again. Tackles in favour of Hawthorn, that's interesting. And hit-outs, only 3 in favour of Melbourne. So still, although there's that big discrepancy in the score, stats reasonably even.
Well, I think that just proves that Melbourne have been far more dangerous up forward today than Hawthorn.
Maybe.
Well, what a quarter this should be. They're playing for so much here at the MCG. On Michael Tuck's big day, can Hawthorn pull it out of the fire? Steins, Platten.
Jenky's now gone back onto line too. Sorry, Bruce.
Remember in the first quarter when Jenky was brilliant early, but Lyon's been on top for the last 2 terms.
Well, he had 9 kicks in the first term against Lyon 6.
15 to 9. First goal here, vital. McGuinness, who gave them a bit in the third quarter. Healy. Newport, quick kick. Jackson. Collins now playing on Jackson. Morrissey, who's been quiet. Kennedy provides a lead, so does Dunstall. Good kick. A brilliant kick by Morrissey.
Into space, and when your ball's kicked into space and you're in front as Dunstall was on that occasion, it's very hard for the fullback. There's Campbell. He's done a reasonable job today, Campbell.
I would say a marvellous job.
Dunstall lining up for his third. He's kicked 2 goals too.
From 40 metres out, drop punt, good looking, kick straight through. Well, it was just what the doctor ordered. 10-10 to 15-13, Dunstall with 3.
Well, 33 points the margin. And as we've known, Melbourne, they hung on earlier this year. It was against Carlton at this particular ground. They really did get away on that day and just hung on. Now can Hawthorn mount a challenge? It's not beyond them. They're a very, very skillful side, and they've got stars in that side, and they've also got a lot of grit.
That was a brilliant kick, that one, by Morrissey. And it was good play by Andrew Collins on Jackson before that, too. Back to the centre, 15-13 to 10-10. Who'll get the next goal? Centre of the ground, it's a free kick.
It's interesting that the umpire further away gave that free kick, not the umpire right on the scene.
Jimmy Steins to the half-forward line. Lyon versus Jenke. Jenke thumps at the ground, goes in to get it. Socket off the ground by Newport to the forward pocket. This is Tingay. Back over his head, will it bounce out? Anderson and Whitman takes it over the line. It's about 25 metres around from the Melbourne goal. They've looked very dangerous in attack with Bennett well on top of Langford. He's kicked 5. Jackson hovering around there has kicked 4. There's Marnie. Oh, well done over the top to Bennett. A chance for Tingay. He goes to ground. Bennett cleverly taps it underneath him. Grabbed by Tuck. Oh, this could be dangerous. Newport can't take the mark. Stephen Phoebe, a quick kick over his head. Marnie sets himself against Mew. Platten in after it. Always at the bottom of the pack. Here's Pritchard, a quick hand pass and Hawthorn rebound. Through Collins. Brereton has it thumped away. Kicked away by Lawrence. Brereton leads in the race for the ball. Lawrence shepherds. That's good play by the big ruckman. Picked up by Brereton. Dunstall trying to lead. Now Brereton breaks away and kicks long. They've got Hall up there. And Gritter and Tony Hall marks. Open goal, kicks. Goal! Tony Hall's kicked at the goal. Hawthorn mounting a challenge. 11-10-76. Melbourne 15-13, 103.
Well, that's his second goal, Hall, but it was a costly mistake by Gritter. Now watch this. The ball will come from Brereton. It's a high one. There it is in flight. Now watch Gritter tries to mark. In that situation, put one fist up and go straight to the boundary line.
Well, now it's time for the Hawks to celebrate. They've kicked 7 of the last 9 goals, Hawthorn. They're within 4.5. And they're starting to come home with a rush. Grinter. Drop punt. Marnie the target. Mew.
Well done by Mew on that occasion. Just out-strength and bodied the young Marnie.
Got himself into a bit of trouble, but goes to Tuck. Brereton. Well, suddenly...
No, mark's been paid to Brereton.
Yep, suddenly I was about to say, the star of the Hawthorn team has come alight.
Well, he's the one they need. He's done nothing all day, Dermot, and he just has to fire for Hawthorn.
Well, it's a very difficult position in which he's playing. That's centre-half forward. And there's Brereton getting away from Road.
Well, he's a great kick. He's a long way out. Brereton's kick 1. 50 metres out. Got under it. High one. Punch through for a behind. So the margin is down to 26 points. And Melbourne led by 55 points at one stage, and on the Queen's birthday they led Carlton by 54 and fell in. So is it a matter of a case of deja vu here today?
Well, if they go defensive, Bruce, they could be in trouble. They've just got to keep running, throwing themselves in. Remember how they did it initially. And don't give up and don't play defensive.
Simon Eishold to the half-forward line. And Ben Allen has taken the mark.
And the other thing, they must play in front.
Allen. West Australian recruit. Oh, he's gone short. Will it come off? It will. Whitman, he can play on. He held his ground. Kicks to the half-forward line. Hall and Grinter. Wobbly kick, but Grinter read it better. Grinter. The long kick over the centre wing. He's looking for Marnie, and young Marnie flies and takes a good mark. Where's Bennett? Bennett's back with Langford. Langford looking worried. Bennett the lead. Can he get out there? Yes, he can. And he's rashed Chris Langford today. Bennett.
That was not a good kick.
But he was in front.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said earlier. They've got to be in front as he goes on quickly. Bennett to Eishold. And a strong mark by Eishold in the forward pocket.
Simon Eishold. From 30 metres. Spalding's coming back on for Melbourne. Howard off. A vital kick, this one by Eishold. He'll be nervous, even though he's almost directly in front. They need a steadier. He's kicked two, Simon Eishold. He's kicked truly. It's a goal. Melbourne fans breathe a sigh of relief. They've kicked their 16th. 16-13, plays 11-11.
Well, as I said, it wasn't a good kick by Marnie, a good mark, but Bennett was in front. It wasn't a good kick. It found a hole, and then good play by Bennett despite Eishold, and a strong mark by the centre player. He has done exceptionally well today, Eishold.
$32 points in it. Will the Hawks come again? Whitman. Lovett misses it. Grinter. Kennedy over the top. Well, it's been played at a ferocious pace. A lot of people suggesting early in the week there wouldn't be much in this game. But both teams will be looking for the week further down the track, but nothing could be further from the truth. Spalding. Eishold, who's been magnificent today. Marnie versus Mew. The experience of Mew. Free kick.
And the inexperience of Marnie.
He really just had to sweat on him, didn't he? And
exactly.
Didn't have to commit like he did. Anderson the target. Viney with him. Anderson to half forward.
Oh, Spalding.
Brilliant. Falling, diving one-hander. This game has had the lot today. It's been worthy of a grand final. Viney sweats off Steins. Left foot, not good. Jenke.
Lyon behind on that occasion.
Yates and Morrissey. Morrissey cleverly. Brilliantly kept it in. Lawrence didn't look. Gave it away to Obst. Jackson. Steins. Melbourne through half forward with a high one.
Bennett and Langford. Bennett again. Couldn't take them up. Oh, brilliant play by Bennett. On to Healy. Lyons brought down. And that's holding the ball.
Good tackle by Tuck.
Yes, no doubt about 404 league games. Michael Tuck, he still chases and tackles like a young man. Michael Tuck is kicking it up to the centre of the ground. Pritchard waits back. Now he chips in front. Takes the mark. Here come the Hawks again. Dunstall versus Campbell. Dunstall, brilliant use of the body. Goes and gets it again.
Look at that tackle.
Loses the ball. That's holding the ball, and a good decision by the umpire. Play on now, the advantage to Obst. Brereton puts him down, and it's a free kick down the field. It'll be to Phoebe.
I have never seen anybody do what Campbell did to Dunstall on that occasion. It's usually Dunstall's strength, but Campbell went back after him. That was a terrific effort by the Melbourne fullback.
Stephen Phoebe will take the free kick on centre wing. And Melbourne hanging on. The Hawks trying desperately to get themselves back in the game. Mew. Oh, good mark by Chris Mew. His experience in the pressure situation showing out on young Marnie.
Marnie should put his body in front, not stand to the side.
Chris Mew to half forward. Collins. Oh, Brereton was held, but Collins, the umpire picked it. Yes, it'll come back to Dermott. He was grabbed.
I thought also good shepherding by Brereton.
No, it's got to come back to Brereton. He was held back at centre half forward.
It was good play by Brereton to allow Collins to take that mark in front.
Actually, it's worked to the disadvantage of Hawthorn, really, because they were away and running. Now, Brereton to the forward pocket. Lawrence should mark this. He's got his name written all over it. Stephen Lawrence, I think his eyes bulged as he saw that ball coming. He knew he had it. And he has marked 35 metres out directly in front. And might have received a free kick anyway. Well, that's been a great kick. 13 kicks, 8 marks and 5 handballs, and yet, and probably in the hit-outs, he's been beaten by Steins, Don.
Yeah, and Steins also picked up a lot of possessions around the ground. They're both very, very mobile players, but he's now resting in the pocket, Deer on the ball.
Hawthorn need this badly. He chips away at this one. Did it? Oh, hit the post. Bad luck for the Hawks. They needed it. But they're still in there with a rough chance. Time might beat them, though. 16-13, plays 11-12. 31 points the margin.
Campbell to bring it back in. Straight down the middle. Deer and Brereton force it onto Platten. Quick kick. Yates and Morrissey. Morrissey cleverly. Kennedy gives a free kick away.
That was good play by Lovett on that occasion. The way he was running to the side, then put his body and took the run of Kennedy and then slowed down, and Kennedy was going at full momentum. That was experienced by Lovett. Good play.
He is a great player.
Former Hawthorn player, under captain of their under-19s too.
Like a Formula One driver taking the line there, and he did it very well. Healy, Paul Deer, who's been quiet with a high one. Called play on, touched off the boot. Hall, Healy trapped it well. It was meant for Morrissey. Back towards Lyon. Jenke with him. No free kick, tuck. Lyon, quick kick to space. McGuinness and Bennett.
Bennett at centre-half forward now.
McGuinness to Mew. Quick bounce. Lawrence moves it quickly. Not a good kick. Yates and Morrissey. Morrissey cleverly. Still Morrissey. Kennedy. Lovett falls over. Gives it away. Brereton off the ground. And a goal to Anderson. And they're not out of this by a long stretch. 12-12 to 16-13.
And that reminded me then, the Melbourne defence, of a rusty old bucket with holes in it. They were desperately trying to fill the holes up here. And every time they filled one, it dribbled out again the ball out of that pack. And then finally it was Hawthorn that got it through Anderson. Through a lot of mistakes and a great persistence.
Well, next goal, vitally important. Hawthorn would have to kick it for sure, because there's 14.5 minutes of play left. There's definitely time for the Hawks.
Plenty of time in this, plenty of time.
4 goals, 1 they have to make up, 25 points. And I'll tell you what, they'll put in the effort. There's Paul Deer. Oh, they're nearly going to get this out here. Whitman, quick hand pass, Ben Allen. Melbourne lying on top of the ball. It'll be a bounce. And they've thrown Paul Deer into the ruck. That's good. Good move that by Alan Jeans, because he'll be fresh. Lawrence playing down there on Spalding around the half-forward area. Who'll get this out from this bounce situation? Steins and Paul Deer. Steins too tall. Healy receives from Jackson. The long kick, Collins and Langford taps it down. Cheeky, back up support onto Langford. Experience
well done,
Hawthorn. Hand pass from Langford over to Collins. Collins taps it back into the fray and goes and gets it. Hand pass, will it sit for Jenke? Yes, it will. Smothered by Lyon. Jenke back after it. Oh, this is great football. Look at little Collins. That is fantastic to McGuinness, and Hawthorn come away with the ball. Whitman. Hawthorn mounting a huge challenge. Brereton and Road. Brereton has it fisted, but he goes in after it. Oh, he's collected in the head.
Oh.
Well, it's a free kick to Brereton. He put the head down, went in. You don't agree, Don? Let's have a look again. Head down.
Oh,
hip
no, that's hip and shoulder.
Well, the lead is on. Pritchard at the back. Down the ground. Players charging in after it. Loose ball. Comes to Deer. A bad hand pass. The kick was from Road. Ben Allen traps the ball. The chip pass finds Platten. No mark. Platten cleverly shuffles it out to Tuck. Tuck onto Allen. And they've lost it to Whitman. In goes McGuinness. Oh, look at the pressure. Fantastic stuff, this. What a great
There
game.
were some terrific efforts over there. When Platten spilled the ball, it was only offside. It was a 2-on-1 situation. But the mere fact that he ran with the Hawthorn guys allowed this ball to now to be pulled up. That was fantastic play because Hawthorn looked as if they were really going to mount something.
And Don, how many times over the years have we seen Hawthorn hassle a team out of it, just as Melbourne did then to Hawthorn? They had control and couldn't take it. Allen caught Lyon. Well, he's been wonderful. Collins will take this one. Still the Hawks are relentless. Jenke.
They won't toss it in, will they, Hawthorn?
Well, they've got so much to play for on Michael Tuck's big day and the double chance. Whitman. Brereton will set himself. He's outnumbered. Platten. Anderson. A chance for Dunstall. Dunstall. Will it sit? Still Dunstall. Still Dunstall. Lawrence. Left foot snap. Well done, Newport.
Oh.
A great mark under pressure.
Oh, it's heart-stopping stuff, this. Terrific play by Dunstall, then to Lawrence. And what a magic mark there by Newport, who's really down in confidence, but really lifted at the critical moment.
Well, the excitement is close to being unbearable here. I know they're 4 goals behind, but they're charging home. Brereton, who has lifted as you'd expect him to. Left foot. Spalding, well done. Great take by McGuinness. And a great kick. Well, they're still in this with a chance. Ball in the goal square. Brereton, the big lift at centre-half forward. McGuinness giving them something. And Hall, who's kicked 2. You can see the angle. Tucked away, but he really should kick this. And he does. 16 goals, 13 to 13, 12. And we've got 11 minutes to go, Don.
And his third goal, Tony Hall, he was really a prominent player in the first quarter. May have drifted out of it a little bit, now being picked up by Grinter. And Melbourne have made a change. Jay Viney off the ground and Brett Heaver has come onto the forward pocket. And we remember Heaver, a real goal kicker in his first game, kicked 5 against Carlton that particular day.
19 points, Melbourne lead by. Can Hawthorn win it for Michael Tuck? Whitman's lifted them. Campbell can't take the mark. Here's Kennedy. Brereton, will he win it for them? The short kick. Yates. Wide. Melbourne have got loose men and running. Stephen Tingay. Good shepherding from Stephen Phoebe. Tingay to the half-forward line. Collins at the back. Oh, what a sensational mark, Andrew Collins. He's going across goal. This could be dangerous. Scott McGuinness. Marks. Langford. No one to give it to. He comes around. Oh, that was dangerous play. Pritchard. Socket off the ground by the Hawks, but the only man waiting for it is Spalding.
109 to 90. A real test of the Demons here. Will they stay firm and hold on to this big lead that has been whittled away step by step, inch by Hawthorn?
Strong mark by Deere.
Langford has to wait for it. Long kick. Morrissey the target. Clever. Pritchard with a run. He should attack here. Drop punt. Brereton or Dunstall. It's Dermott. And you think the kid hasn't lifted in the last quarter.
Yes, but also you've got to pay credit, and the players are going over now to Morrissey because he punched that ball on, and then it was Pritchard, and Pritchard steadied and spotted both Dunstall and Brereton in the right positions.
Gee, I'll tell you what, this would lift Hawthorn if he kicks this.
It's kick 1. In many ways, the superstar of the competition. From 45 metres, drop punt. Misses. Can't believe it. Looks on in horror. 3 goals the difference. Still plenty of time.
Well, Melbourne are stopping. They've got just under 9 minutes to play to score 3 goals. The Hawks. Campbell to the half-back line. Stides, look at Hall flying high. Hawthorn, tapping it on. Hall to Platten. On to Deere. Deere from 40 metres is Platten. Is that a free kick to Paul Deere? I think it is.
He'll get another kick.
He's been flattened as he kicked the ball. And have a look. Let's see what happened.
You can't.
Oh, an elbow to the head. How do you like that, Don? No free kick?
Well, there is a free kick.
Well, an elbow to the head's normally paid. No doubt about that.
You can't afford to do things like that,
No.
especially on the forward line, Peter. You
Well,
just can't afford to
it's
do it.
Deere. Will kick from 45 metres. He's almost directly in front, Paul Deere. It'll be 2 goals the margin if he kicks it. Deere. It's coming back. It's a goal. 12 points the margin. Melbourne lead. 16-13 Melbourne. They're stopping. Hawthorn 14-13.
Well, on that occasion, Rod Grinter, who gave away the free kick, he could have pulled up. You can't afford to give those free kicks so close to goal. That's just critical, and they've held the penalty to the side.
Well, they've kicked 10 of the last 13, Hawthorn, within 2 goals. Bennett, well done. Is this the winner from Spalding? It could well be. Will that shut the gate on the Hawks? 17-14.
And it was Simon Eishold who got that ball on, threw a hand pass out of the centre. It went across to Bennett, and all Bennett was interested in doing is getting it on the forward line there. And pushed it over the top, and Spalding, who was in the back line, is now up forward, and they've made another change. Marnie's coming off and Howard on for Melbourne.
And Ray Jecky hesitated. It was costly. Back to the centre. Is there time? A very handy goal. There's Andrew Collins out of the centre. Obbs tries to trap it. Still in the centre as players charging in after it. Gee, it's been a great game. Anderson leads in the race. Will it sit for him? He goes back after Dean Anderson. Dragged off the ball. Hand pass comes out to Ricky Jackson. He hooks it across his body. Healy. No mark. Still in play. Ben Allen. The West Australian takes it away and he finds McGuinness. McGuinness at
There's a
half-back.
free kick. It went over the boundary line, Peter.
Well, there'll be a throw-in. Time running out for the Hawks. Just over 7 minutes. And they've mounted a great challenge. They've got big hearts, but I think time might beat them.
Langford forced to go with it with Bennett. Allen to centre wing. Kennedy and Lovett. Grinter. High one. Oh, great mark, Newport.
That's his second good mark in this last quarter, and critical marks. One in the back pocket, and now that's his second. He outbodied Anderson. You can see there Anderson hanging on, but it was Newport from behind.
From 55 metres, an important player for Melbourne, was starring in 88 and 89, has struggled this season, but has shown some good signs today on the eve of the finals. Good looking kick. Quick kick by Jenke. Tough ball this, Morrissey. The quick gift to McGuinness, who's been very good today. I reckon he's played his way into the Hawks team. Morrissey. Still Morrissey. Dunstall. It sits. He's got Brereton, he'll kick it to him. And Dermott will kick a goal.
He's off, he's off.
Well, he plays on, and Kennedy kicks it for him. Just 2 goals in it. 6 minutes to go. It's 17-13 to 15-13.
And you would have thought that after Spalding kicked the goal, that was the steadier that Melbourne were looking for, but Hawthorn cannot be denied. They're still coming. And there he's off. He just made the move, Brereton, around the neck anyway, but the umpire paid advantage.
Well, can they pull off a miraculous victory, the Hawks? They've got 2 goals to catch up. Paul Deere against Steins. The quick kickers by Obbs. Andrew Collins, oh, fantastic. Ran straight at the ball. Platten. The rebound. Hawthorn have got it. Scott McGuinness on the right foot. Brereton and Hall. Oh, look at the mark. Tony Hall.
Well done by Brereton to shepherd Road out of the road and allowed Hall to the ball uninterrupted.
Hall. Loose man, Morrissey. Oh, Cardinal centre football by Melbourne. We have 5 minutes and 20 seconds of play left in the match. If Morrissey kicks this goal, the margin will be 6 points. And it's anyone's game. A vital kick. James Morrissey. From 40 metres, the drop punt. Oh, I think he's missed. Yes, but it could be a vital point anyway, because the ball's still down Hawthorn's forward line. If they score the next goal, then they'll only trail by 5 points, one kick in it then.
Now what should Campbell do? Straight down the centre or to the boundary line. He's going to the boundary.
High drop punt. Steins in the front. McGuinness at the back. Anderson breaks a tackle, breaks 2 tackles. Tuck trying to lift himself. Love it. Kennedy put the pressure on, and it's gone to touch.
That was great play by Steins to get up and tackle Anderson. He just got up off the ground after contesting that mark, put the pressure on. The ball went to the left of Anderson, and now it's going to be thrown in.
4.5 minutes to go in what's been a sensational afternoon of football. Flat. Yates to the boundary line. The Hawks get it a bit closer. Well, 11 points in it. Something big here for Hawthorn. Will bring the house down. Lawrence in the front. Healy. Newport. And we'll start all over again.
Now, what will the umpire do to break this up? Will he pay a free kick? Usually they do, so it's important now, if you want the free kick, to get in front, because he's going to look for something to break this up.
Steins and Lawrence. Steins. Yates, quick kick round the body. New. Anderson. Good tackle on him. Whitman. Well done, Newport. And Melbourne able to hold it up. Very important.
Valuable seconds ticking away. 3 minutes and 33 seconds of play left in the match. Vital for Hawthorn to get a very quick goal. Time running out for them. It's been a magnificent fight back. They've got big hearts. Melbourne grimly hanging on. It's going to take a lot out of them, Melbourne, this game. There's Brett Lovett getting his boot to the ball and putting it to the line. Hawthorn not getting it out, able to get it away from this half-forward flank area.
Well, it's important now, if you want to win the ball, to put yourself between the man, your opponent, and the ball.
Paul Deere and Steins. Deere tries to whack it back into play. Here's Steins. A quick kick. Comes to New. New on Spalding. Spalding, beautiful hand pass. Platten. Oh, look at Healy lying on top of it. And how will the umpire see this? Jenke. Back to Jenke. Oh, could have been a free kick in the back.
Oh, no. That is wrong.
Well, he was grabbed. Ray Jenke's on centre wing. 2 minutes and 40 seconds of play left in the game. He's got to kick long. Brereton at the back. Had a couple to beat. Lyon. Oh, the old kick round the boundary line trick. And it comes off.
Have Melbourne gone defensive, because Lyon is now in the back line. He was playing up forward early. And Obbs very tired. You can see they're just getting to his feet. He copped a bad injury in the last quarter and playing on now.
Well, time on their side now. They've been able to hold up for 2.5 minutes. Kennedy just drops it for Platten. Kennedy again. Not in play. It was touched. No, out in the full. Well, thought it might have been touched off the boot. So the Demons should hang on here. Less than 2 minutes remaining. Yates. Obbs wants it very short. High one. Steins the target. Howard at the back. And Spalding at the front. Quickly to Newport. High one. Collins and Jackson.
Free kick to Collins.
Not paid. Tingay. Still Tingay. Left foot. High. And is it McGuinness? Force through, and an important point. Surely Melbourne can't lose now. They're 2 in front. 17-14 to 15-14.
John Northey, I think he'd be quite happy at this stage. 2 goals. I don't think Hawthorn can do it, but Langford straight up the centre. The punch on. Oh, they got the loose ball, Hawthorn. Tony Hall ran back into trouble. Gets his boot to it. They're still loose. Lyon. Oh, he saves them then. Platten. Back to Jenke. Jenke back to Platten. Platten swoops on the loose ball. Kicks it up in front of goal. Brereton hell. Oh, look at that. The umpire, he's ripping into the umpire. He was grabbed by the arm. He's not happy, and the Melbourne defenders got away with it.
Well, we've got under a minute to play. 49 seconds.
Grinter from centre half back. Steins, Tuck, Eishold, who's been magnificent. Long handball. Tingay off the ground. Collins. Still Collins. Caught by Healy. Still caught by Healy.
And that was good play by Eishold, because he looked down the ground, and credit to Hawthorn. They had every Melbourne forward covered. and there were no options at all. So what he did, as we saw, long handball along or running parallel to the boundary line. Eishold was good play.
10 seconds to go, and the Demons are going to win. They're 2 goals in front. And the siren's about to sound at the MCG. And it does. Well, what a great game. A day Michael Tuck will remember forever. The Hawks may have lost, but they went down after a tremendous comeback. Tucky in his 404, Grinter, Lovett and Steins for Melbourne. And the Demons took the honours. Brereton with a sensational last quarter. And Lyon, who was just brilliant with Jenke in one of the great clashes of the day. Phoebe was very good. Heaver only got a late run. But the Demons win 17-14 to Hawthorn 15-14. Welcome back to AFL Live. Hawthorn kicked 6-4 to Melbourne, 2-1 in the final term. It wasn't enough. The Demons by 2 goals, 17-14 to 15-14. In one of the great games of the season, Bennett got 5, Jackson 4, and Eishold 3 for the Demons. Don Scott and Peter McKenna, it really was some match here today.
That's one of the best games I've seen in a long, long time. Melbourne was superb for 3 quarters, and yet we had that inkling, Don, that Hawthorn, they've got that heart, they just keep coming at you.
They've got the skill too, Peter, and you can't afford to let